At the same time, the three landed in a space shrouded in mist. Ding Jie and Yi felt relieved. At the same time, the three landed in a space shrouded in mist. Ding Jie and Yi felt relieved. The next moment, they saw the huge peak of a tower that stretched down forever. We're at the top of the tower? Ding Jie looked at this in a daze. That's right. This is the top of the tower. Yi Mo felt the world law and knew they weren't inside anymore. What is this? Zhantai Yi pointed at the mist. Yi Mo said, if I'm not wrong, below the mist is the Immortal King Tablet. Doesn't that mean we reached the highest place of the Immortal King Tablet and will be named the most powerful Immortal Kings? Ding Jie said in extreme shock. Yi Mo answered, not necessarily. Walking out of the tower meant that we have surpassed the world laws inside the tower. I'm not certain if the Immortal King Tablet can even name us. Even if it can't, I don't mind. I believe that the benefits I've received are far beyond king naming. Zhantai Yi said, let me try first. I'm going to get named now. Ding Jie said, and was going to jump down into the mist. However, he landed on the mist and couldn't go down. Before Ding Jie said anything, 6 faint golden words suddenly appeared on the Immortal King Tablet. North Time Immortal King Ding Jie. Then, there were immortal music surrounding the three, as though congratulating North Time Immortal King. Oh, so I'm North Time Immortal King. I didn't need to write my name, and the Immortal King title came out. I'm much stronger than ordinary Immortal Kings indeed. Ha ha ha. Ding Jie laughed. Yi Mo was very shocked too. He didn't expect king naming would be like this. The golden words floated above the tablet, meaning that people probably couldn't see these words from the Immortal King Tablet Square. Zhantai Yi's heart was on fire. She charged into the mist and said, Jiu Fan, Immortal Pawn Zhantai Yi, is here for king naming. Another round of immortal music sounded, and then a few seconds later, faint golden words hung above the mist. Heaven Moon, Immortal King, Zhantai Yi. Both of them were very happy with their Immortal King name, remembering that Yi Mo hadn't been named yet. So Ding Jie said, Yi Mo, come get named too. I really want to see what name someone like you would get. Yi Mo really wanted to know what his name would be. He jumped on the mist. Yi Mo landed on the tablet, and before he even spoke, there were rumbling sounds everywhere that didn't stop at all. What's going on? The two looked around. They saw nothing, but the rumbling sound was getting louder. There was no immortal music, nor golden words. Just when Yi Mo wanted to say, Yi Mo is here for king naming, there was a few huge cracking sounds. Tens of golden lightning circulated around here. This didn't seem right. His divine damnation wasn't right. Yi Mo wondered if this king naming wouldn't be right as well. At this moment, for rows of golden words appeared. The three looked at these words with extreme shock. God, realm disappeared, stars are gone. Chaos opens again. World order reestablished. Stars aligned. Yin-yang separated. 3 birth immortality. Name is eternity. Above these 4 rows were 5 even larger golden words. Eternity, Immortal King, Yi Mo, Ding Jie, and Yi's names were written vertically, but Eternity, Immortal King, Yi Mo was written horizontally. Looking at this, Ding Jie and Zhantai were placed on the sides of Yi Mo. Such powerful name. Yi Mo, your title is Eternity. Ding Jie applauded, and suddenly said, Yi Mo, do you think that disappeared realm needs to be saved us? So we stand on top of everyone for king naming. Yi Mo knew Ding Jie was very happy, and thus made this joke, so he didn't take it seriously. He didn't expect his title was Eternity. This meant existing forever. But Yi Mo didn't lose his mind with this immortal king name. Ding Jie and Yi had immortal music when they were named, but his naming was filled with lightning. How do we go back now? Ding Jie asked. Yi Mo calmed down. He didn't know how to get back, but it wasn't as simple as jumping down. I think we will go back automatically when the tower opens, Zhantai Yi said. Yi Mo and Ding Jie nodded. They just needed to wait for the tower to open now. Although Yi Mo suspected he could go back from here, but he wasn't certain which heaven domain it would be. Plus, he needed to go back and kill Lu Jingquan. Yi Mo, are you planning to go back to Mo, you immortal sect, after this? If I go back, it would still be at Great Red Heaven. How about I come to you? Ding Jie rubbed his hands. He really wanted to cultivate next to Yi Mo. It would be more beneficial than using Immortal Well. Yi could only admire Ding Jie. She was the saint of Jiufan Immortal Pond. Clearly she can't go to a low heaven domain sect to cultivate. Yi Mo said, I still have some personal business to deal with. After this is done, I'm going to Chaos Star Realm. This time I saw more than 10 people from the Grand Heaven Domain reach Immortal King there. I want to go see if there's something good there. Okay, wait for me to go with you. That Heaven Lord is no match for you at all. Ding Jie clapped his hands. Zhang Tai hesitated and looked at Ding Jiao. Go Chaos Star Realm at all. Why don't we go find Brother Yi at Mo, you immortal sect together? Zhang Tai respected and trusted Yi Mo to the bones. She knew Yi Mo was the strongest immortal king in the immortal realm for sure. Okay, after I annihilate Lu Jingquan, I'll wait for you at Mo, you immortal sect, but if some accident occurs, I can't guarantee anything. Yi Mo said. Ding Jie laughed. I can annihilate Lu Jingquan without using any god art. Yi Mo said, don't underestimate that Lu Jingquan. He might not be as talented as you, but he's definitely not that much weaker than you. When he fought with me, he definitely hid his power. As for how much, I couldn't tell. Oh, there's such an interesting guy. Ding Jie immediately changed his perceptions of Lu Jingquan. He trusted Yi Mo's eyes. Yi Mo looked at Zhang Tai and asked, I want to ask about someone. Do you know Goddess Eugene Xiang? Zhang Tai looked at Yi Mo in shock. Of course, I know Elder Eugene Xiang, but she had left the sect for tens of thousands of years. I don't know where she went. Brother Yi, how do you know Elder Eugene Xiang? Yi Mo thought of the golden skeleton in the Chaos Star Realm, so he could only answer, I heard someone talk about her, and you happen to be from the same sect as her. So I just asked casually. Zhang Tai was confused, but she didn't care. She hadn't seen Goddess Eugene Xiang. She was a fabled sect Qianbei. There was still a few days before the tower opened. So the three began discussing cultivation experience, and each benefited from each other. Time flew by quickly. This day, the mist suddenly cracked open. The tower is about to close. Everyone is going to be teleported out. We might be going back to our own Immortal King tablet squares. Yi Mo immediately said, Oh, okay. Wait for me to come find you. Ding Jie said, and then disappeared with in a crack. Yi Mo fell from another crack at the same time. When Yi Mo landed, he was standing at the Mo Heaven Immortal King tablet square. At this moment, all the immortal kings inside the tower had been teleported out to the square. No one noticed where Yi Mo came from. These immortal kings who just came out would be thinking about what titles they got. At this moment, all the immortal kings inside the tower had been teleported out to the square. No one noticed where Yi Mo came from. These immortal kings who just came out would be thinking about what titles they got. Yi Mo landed and dined Ding Jie, N-E-E. As soon as Yi Mo appeared here, a spirit sense locked onto him. The ice-cold killing intent made everyone realize that Heaven Lord Lu Jingquan has enmity with sect leader of Mo, you immortal sect. Some immortal kings moved aside to prevent from being caught in the crossfire. Everyone on the square knew that they weren't a match for either one of these two. Lu Jingquan was thinking about subjugating Yi Mo before he got named. Yi Mo's power might rise even more after king naming. Yi Mo thought the same, but just when he wanted to charge at Lu Jingquan, he stopped. He felt an extremely powerful spirit sense lock on him. This was his first time encountering such powerful and intense spirit sense. In that instant, Yi Mo saw an extremely skinny-faced man walk towards him. It was an immortal monarch, Yi Mo looked at this man and knew it was an immortal monarch primary stage. Yi Mo didn't where this immortal monarch came from, but his intense killing intent stopped. Yi Mo Lu Xingchuan felt the powerful pressure of the spirit sense. As he was the closest to Yi Mo Lu Xingchuan couldn't tell this person was immortal monarch power. He could only tell that the skinny man was much stronger than him. Just when he wanted to talk to that essence spirit and ask about this skinny man's power, the essence spirit sounded, "This person is an immortal monarch primary stage. Don't talk to me anymore. Otherwise, he might notice." Hearing this, Lu Xingchuan's heart shook. He could only watch that immortal monarch walk towards him, and Yi Mo Lu Xingchuan greet master. Lu Xingchuan bowed. The immortal monarch frowned and said, "You're the Lu Xingchuan that got your Heaven Lord estate wiped out?" Lu Xingchuan answered, "Yes, it's me." Such an useless guy. The idiots of Heaven Lord Alliance actually chose a useless Heaven Lord like you. I'm Chang Tian. Lu Xingchuan was annoyed, thinking, so what if this guy was immortal monarch? He was going to become one too sooner or later. But when the man said the last sentence, he realized this person was Heaven Lord Alliance Chang Tian, immortal monarch. Lu Xingchuan bowed. Lu Xingchuan greet Chang Tian, immortal monarch master. Wan Bei wasn't at Feng Gang Immortal City, and thus let this guy take advantage of me. Today, I'm here to bring this person to Feng Gang Immortal City Heaven Lord Estate to punish him. Yi Mo heard this on the side and realized this immortal monarch was from the Heaven Lord Alliance. He heard there was 2 immortal monarchs from the Heaven Lord Alliance. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, nodded. "In that case, attack now. I'll watch." Lu Xingchuan breathed easy. As long as Chang Tian, immortal monarch, didn't take away Yi Mo, things would be good. Lu Xingchuan thanked and released a long sword. At first, it seemed like an ordinary immortal artifact, but when Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned it, he immediately felt his spirit sense scanned some clear water. Above the clear water was 7 specks of starlight. 7-star sword? Yi Mo didn't expect 7-star sword was in Lu Xingchuan's hands. It wasn't a god artifact, but was a top-level immortal artifact that was on par with any low-grade god artifact. It was one of the most famous immortal swords in the immortal realm. How did Lu Xingchuan dare to take this out? Was he not afraid of the immortal monarch wanting it? That immortal monarch murmured in shock. Before the sword was even released, Yi Mo felt the square go cold. Those immortal kings who still hadn't written their names stopped doing so. They all wanted to see who would be killed. Yi Mo thought and realized what was going on. Lu Xingchuan released this sword clearly to kill him and then give the sword to Chang Tian, immortal monarch. That way, even if Lu Xingchuan takes him away, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, wouldn't be able to say anything. This bastard was indeed full of calculations. But Yi Mo wasn't going to let him have it his way. He just sound transmission to that immortal monarch, Chang Tian, immortal monarch. You know why Lu Xingchuan wants to kill me? Do you think it's because I weeped out his Heaven Lord estate? Not at all. It's because Lu Xingchuan knows I have Chaos Tree Sapling. What? Chang Tian, immortal monarch, exclaimed, forgetting to even use sound transmission. His body was shaking with excitement, and he reached up to Yi Mo, grabbing at him. Yi Mo was prepared, and the instant the immortal monarch attacked, he broke free from the immortal monarch domain and sound transmissioned, "If you dare to attack one more time, I will immediately yell out I have Chaos Tree." Chang Tian, immortal monarch, paused and didn't dare T or H for Yi Mo anymore. If Yi Mo spilled things, could he kill everyone here? Clearly not. There were so many immortal kings here, some from Grand Heaven Domain. If he killed them all, where would he hide? Just when Lu Xingchuan wanted to talk, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, waved to Lu Xingchuan. "You have no business here. You can stay on the side." Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was going to tell Lu Xingchuan to leave, but thinking about the Chaos Tree, he changed his mind. Lu Xingchuan knew about this. How could he let this person go? he had to take him away later too. Just when Lu Jingchuan was dazing, Yi Mo sound transmission Lu Jingchuan, this Chang Tian, immortal monarch might have, since the chaos tree chi on me. If you want to protect it, then help me kill Chang Tian. Hearing this, Lu Jingchuan immediately realized he came to the right person. Yi Mo really had chaos tree. Even though he knew his guess was 90% correct, he was still shaking with excitement after Yi Mo admitted it. Yi Mo had chaos tree, but he didn't have any chaos tree spilling out. This guy definitely told Chang Tian on purpose. Lu Jingchuan also guessed that Yi Mo also had Chaos World Time Formation Disc. Since he could get Truth Divine Emperor's heritage, nothing would seem strange. This thought flashed in Lu Jingchuan's head, and before he could make a decision, he saw Yi Mo use an instant transmission and disappeared. Just when Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was thinking of a proper excuse to take Lu Jingchuan and Yi Mo away, Yi Mo ran off himself. This was perfect for him. He chased up without hesitation. He didn't even use his full power as he wanted to give Yi Mo time to run. Seeing this, Lu Jingchuan chased up without hesitation. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, hoped Lu Jingchuan would follow, and now Lu Jingchuan seemed to have obediently come. Yi Mo knew that even if he ran at full power, he couldn't get away from their trackings. But even if he could, he wouldn't. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, and Lu Jingchuan wanted to kill him. But so did he. Running away wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing was to kill Lu Jingchuan and Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch. There was no other way to kill Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, other than joining up with Lu Jingchuan. Yi Mo was confident, but he knew he couldn't kill an Immortal Monarch alone right now. As the three chased, they gradually went further and further away from King Naming City. If Yi Mo fled towards an immortal city or a place with many people, Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, might have attacked already. But Yi Mo was running near the border of Mo Heaven Domain. This was perfect for Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch. He would go to the border and kill Yi Mo and Lu Jingchuan. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, knew this place was the best place to attack. Just when he wanted to speed up and kill Yi Mo first, and then wait for Lu Jingchuan to come and kill him too, he found that Yi Mo suddenly sped up. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, knew this place was the best place to attack. Just when he wanted to speed up and kill Yi Mo first, and then wait for Lu Jingchuan to come and kill him too, he found that Yi Mo suddenly sped up. Low-grade flying god artifact. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was even more excited than hearing about the Chaos Tree. After all, Yi Mo just claimed he had the Chaos Tree. There was no way of proving it until he caught Yi Mo. Who knows if it's just a way Yi Mo was using to run away, but this low-grade god artifact appeared before his eyes. Even an immortal emperor would want that greatly. But soon he noticed something wrong. When Yi Mo changed flying magic artifact, he went faster and faster, and instantly drew up the distance between the two. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, sped up his extreme grade flying immortal artifact and flew at Yi Mo as fast as he could. He was afraid if Yi Mo went into the void, he would really lose this low-grade flying god artifact. After these few days of observation, Yi Mo was certain that Lu Jingchuan wouldn't lose to Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, in speed. Indeed, Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, sped up, and Lu Jingchuan changed a flying magic artifact and sped up too. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, noticed Lu Jingchuan using a flying immortal artifact faster than his, but he didn't doubt Yi Mo's words now. If Yi Mo didn't have Chaos Tree, Lu Jingchuan definitely wouldn't chase all the way here without using max speed. Knowing that Yi Mo had so many secrets, Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, calmed down instead. The most important thing was that he had to kill these two. A day later, Yi Mo saw the border of Mo Heaven. Seeing Yi Mo easily find the weakest place of the Chaos Void flow and charge in Chang Tian, immortal monarch, breathed easy instead. He believed with Yi Mo's experience. He definitely has been in the void for a long time. Yi Mo came to the void, probably to use it to escape. 10 seconds after Yi Mo went into the void, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, and Lu Jingquan followed in as well. Although the two were getting closer and closer to Yi Mo, they wouldn't be able to catch up quickly. At the third day, Yi Mo stopped. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was already a bit desperate. Even though Yi Mo used a low-grade god artifact, Yi Mo was only a mortal king. He didn't understand how an immortal monarch couldn't catch up to him. Seeing Yi Mo stop, how could he hesitate? He immediately sealed off Yi Mo's exit. At the same time, Lu Jingquan came nearby. Chang Tian, master, Wan Bei will seal off this person's escape route. He has a low-grade god artifact. If he keeps running, it would be really hard to catch up to him. Wan Bei's 7-star sword isn't as good as his low-grade god artifact, but I can give it to Master as gratitude after Master kills this bastard. How could Lu Jingquan not know Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was suspicious of him? But regardless, he would at least let Chang Tian, immortal monarch, know he respected him. This would make Chang Tian, immortal monarch, underestimate him. Yi Mo hacked out with Zisu. This was his half-god art, Rainbow. Yi Mo didn't use full power this time as well. He only used 80% power. He believed Lu Jingquan would use this opportunity to attack Chang Tian, immortal monarch. So Yi Mo didn't even signal Lu Jingquan at all. Since Lu Jingquan dared to chase him into the void, Yi Mo wasn't confident in saying he could Lu Jingquan for certain. Lu Jingquan definitely had secrets. Otherwise, how could Lu Jingquan not know that Chang Tian, immortal monarch, would be killing him next? Seeing this rainbow, Lu Jingquan immediately knew that Yi Mo hid his power at the title status tower, and not just a bit. But Lu Jingquan knew that even if Yi Mo used full power, it wasn't enough for Chang Tian, immortal monarch. He was far from it. Lu Jingquan used 7-star sword and smashed at Yi Mo. Yi Mo ignored this. He could tell that Lu Jingquan's strike only used half of his power at the tower. He could tell that Lu Jingquan was definitely going to ambush Chang Tian, immortal monarch. They were in a delicate balance now. How to make him benefit the most was the most important. Seeing Lu Jingquan attack Yi Mo, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was surprised. He thought Lu Jingquan would be watching on the side. In that instant, Yi Mo's rainbow arrived. The heavenly covering purple sword rays surrounded one large 10 km long purple sword ray and flew over. Although Yi Mo didn't use crevice, the crevice hacked out by the sword formed a faint mark in the void. The nearby void lethal force was swept into this crevice by the strike. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was shocked too. Yi Mo's lethal force was far stronger than ordinary immortal kings. Lu Jingquan's 7-star sword was stronger than ordinary immortal kings, but far from as strong as Yi Mo. The next moment, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, released a huge seal. This seal was pitch black and turned into a huge seal that had 100 kilometers radius and smashed above Yi Mo's head. The void above Yi Mo's head was instantly under the control of Chang Tian, immortal monarch's domain. Even Zisu became slower. Rumble. The huge black seal hacked onto Zisu, and the heaven-covering purple sword rays instantly disappeared. The void lethal force also withered away. Yi Mo was full of shock. Clearly, if he couldn't break free of this domain in a second, even if he didn't die, his body would crumble. Even an immortal monarch wouldn't be able to take such a seal. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, sneered and reached out an immortal essence giant hand wanting to take Yi Mo's body away. But as soon as his giant hand formed, his face changed. Before he could take back his immortal essence and spirit sense, a white light with 7 stars hacked towards him. Lu Jingquan, how dare you attack me? This time, the 7-star sword formed 7-star lights with some formation waves inside it. The 7-star sword Lu Jingquan used before was a fake. This was the real one. Even so, Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, didn't consider it a threat. He was more furious that Lu Jingquan dared to attack him. Moments later, Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's face changed. He felt his Immortal King domain cracked open instantly. Immortal Monarch domain. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, called out in shock and tried to take back his seal to fight off Lu Jingquan. Despite this, Yi Mo was swept by the huge seal and flew back out, spitting many mouthfuls of blood in the air. There was the sound of flesh being pierced. Splurge, splurge. 7 blood arrows flew out. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's heart was pierced. Lu Jingquan, you sly bastard. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, roared, and the huge seal fell down again with his Immortal Monarch domain. Rumble. Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was covered in blood, but acted like an enraged bull. Lu Jingquan saw that Yi Mo didn't use this opportunity to run, and instead sat on his flying magic artifact to recover and breathe easy. Of course, Yi Mo wasn't going to run. He could tell that the terrifying domain Lu Jingquan used before wasn't his. He was also shocked. If Lu Jingquan suddenly used this terrifying domain during a battle with him, he might be instantly killed. Although Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was heavily injured, he attacked with full power, so clearly he won't stop if he didn't kill Lu Jingquan. Although Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was heavily injured, he attacked with full power, so clearly he won't stop if he didn't kill Lu Jingquan. While the seal smashed at Lu Jingquan brought out 7-star light runes towards the seal. Although the two haven't clashed yet, the powerful immortal essence wave was like the ravaging waves of the ocean. The great seal covered all the nearby void, and Lu Jingquan had nowhere to hide. The only thing he could do was clash head-on with it. Yi Mo was recovering on the side, but in fact he didn't get very serious injuries. He saw clearly that Lu Jingquan didn't attack alone. There seemed to be an essence spirit body on him. That essence spirit sense is very powerful and can use spirit sense to stop Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's domain. Rumble. Cracks sounded all throughout this void. The space ripples spread out in the void. When the first wave of 7-star sword light smashed the seal immediately slowed down and even shrank down a lot. Lu Jingquan's face was also much more pale. Before the first wave disappeared, the 7-star sword created another wave of 7-star sword light smashing at the seal. The rumbling sound grew more intense. The splashing out immortal essence clashed with the 7-star sword light, giving a vibrant display of colors in the void. After using the sword raise 3 times, the 7-star sword finally slowed down. At the same time, Lu Jingquan spat multiple mouthfuls of blood. How could Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, not know that Lu Jingquan hid his power too? He grunted and released a red axe. Yi Mo was shocked. He didn't expect Lu Jingquan was this powerful. Even though he had an essence spirit helping him attack, Lu Jingquan's means were beyond strong. Of course, Yi Mo didn't know that Lu Jingquan had his hardships. Not only did he need that essence spirit to help him stop the Immortal Monarch domain, but he even needed the spirit sense of the essence spirit body to help him use the 7-star sword. This was completely the opposite of what Lu Jingquan wanted. Although the essence spirit was under his control, and he usually respected him a lot, he had never thought of completely opening up his sea of consciousness to him. That way, if the essence spirit attacked him, he would be gone. However, he had no choice now. His ambush didn't break Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's Dan Tian. According to his calculations, his sneak attack would almost certainly break Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's Dan Tian. But in fact, he only made Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, lose half his battle power. Luckily, that essence spirit had no intentions of attacking him and helped him defend against Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch's attacks with full power. Although Lu Jingquan could barely stop the attacks with the essence spirit, his immortal essence was a far cry from Chang Tian, immortal monarch. He could only keep using starlight from the sword to reduce the immortal essence pressure. Even so, he spat a few mouthfuls of essence blood. Yi Mo was recovering on the side. He wouldn't expect Yi Mo to help him. Chang Tian, immortal monarch's huge red axe was almost going to hack apart this void. If he didn't think of a way quickly, even if he stopped the seal, he would be hacked in half by the axe. Immortal monarch wasn't something immortal kings could compare with indeed. Lu Jingquan thought and burned his essence blood and immortal essence. He even started burning his spirit sense. He even burned the spirit sense that didn't belong to him. The 7-star sword emitted even brighter radiance. The sword shot out 7-star light sword rays, which split apart into 7 each again. This kept going, and instantly there were hundreds of sword rays. These few hundred sword rays seemed to have fell from the void and rapidly clashed with the seal. Rumble. The seal finally couldn't block the sword rays anymore and was smashed away. However, the sword ray didn't weaken at all and kept smashing at the huge axe. The red axe was powerful but wasn't released by Chang Tian, immortal monarch, at full power. After being charged by the sword rays, it dimmed down. More than half of the few hundred sword rays were also gone. The remaining weakened sword ray pierced apart Chang Tian, immortal monarch's body. A wave of weakness struck him. Even though Chang Tian, immortal monarch, knew Lu Jingquan was extremely weak as well, but he didn't dare to stay. Lu Jingquan was fine, but that essence spirit next to him was too terrifying. If he didn't go, he would have to stay here forever. Without hesitation, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, disappeared past Lu Jingquan in a dashing light. There was nothing Lu Jingquan could do, and could only watch as Chang Tian, immortal monarch, got away. Seeing Chang Tian, immortal monarch, run away, and in his direction, how could Yi Mo not know this guy wanted to take him with him? He suddenly got up and punched out. Fist got art. Void. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was heavily injured Lu Jingquan, and now seeing that a mere immortal king primary stage dared to resist, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, was furious. He had seen Yi Mo attack, but even if this punch was as powerful as that strike, so what? Even though he was heavily injured, he wouldn't care about a small immortal king primary stage. Without hesitation, he reached out his immortal monarch domain and grabbed at Yi Mo's punch. Buzz, buzz. The void suddenly rippled, and at this moment, endless lethal force seemed to have gathered from the void, forming a lethal force whirlpool. It grew larger and stronger. Crack, crack. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, just released his immortal monarch domain, was completely shattered. He found in shock that an immortal king domain was not much weaker than his weakened immortal monarch domain. He also discovered in shock that Yi Mo had spirit sense domain, but these weren't important. What was important was that this punch swept up the terrifying, destructive, lethal force of the void. This punch was more than many times stronger than that rainbow strike. Such a sly thing. You dare to hide your power. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, roared in fury. He was tricked by Lu Jingquan, and now this Yi Mo. More terrifyingly, both of these guys were top-level immortal kings. This MOU sect leader was no weaker than a mortal king peak stage. If Lu Jingquan didn't have the help of the essence spirit, even he was no match for this person. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, knew that now. The strongest was this injured immortal king primary stage, but he chose the strongest one to attack. Regardless, Chang Tian, immortal monarch, knew he had to block this punch. Rumble. Chang Tian, immortal monarch's arm was turned into nothing by this punch. The next moment, Chang Tian, immortal monarch's body crippled in this punch, and blood splashed everywhere. I hate you. Chang Tian, immortal monarch, spat, and then even his essence spirit was annihilated. After killing Chang Tian, immortal monarch, Yi Mo picked up his storage ring. After killing Chang Tian, immortal monarch, Yi Mo picked up his storage ring. Lu Xingchuan didn't run nor leave. He just ate a few pills and looked at Yi Mo with a bad face. It was like Chang Tian, immortal monarch, gave his storage ring to Yi Mo. Yi Mo killed Chang Tian, immortal monarch, too fast. It seems I need to give this Junzi, immortal king title to you. You're the real Junzi. Lu Xingchuan sneered. Yi Mo sneered. Lu Xingchuan, I don't dare to take your Junzi, immortal king. I'm calculative to enemies, but not friends. Meanwhile, you're probably very Junzi to both friends and enemies, right? Sect leader Luo, you know, it's impossible to kill me. I'll admit defeat today. We'll end this here. You go your path, I'll go mine. Lu Xingchuan said slowly. There wasn't any killing intent on him, at all. Yi Mo clapped his hand and said, Okay, we'll agree to that. Crack. As Yi Mo's voice sounded, Zisu clashed with Seven-Star Sword. Clearly the two thought the same thing, and were going to ambush each other. In order to attack quickly, both of them didn't use God Art. The two swords clashed together in the void, creating waves of immortal essence ripple. It seems this Junzi title is indeed mine. Lu Xingchuan sneered again. I never wanted your Junzi, immortal king title, Yi Mo said, and then used rainbow again. However, unlike when he attacked Chang Tian, immortal monarch, he used full power this time. Seeing this, Lu Xingchuan used Seven-Star Sword again, but this time he had 7 of them. Yi Mo didn't expect that Lu Xingchuan still had tricks up his sleeve. Only one was real, the rest were fakes. Humph. You only used 40% power when you fought with me in the tower and facing an immortal monarch. You dare to hide 20% of your strength. You really do need the title Junzi, immortal king. Lu Xingchuan sneered, and the 7-star sword spun, rapidly forming a sword formation. Yi Mo looked at this sword formation in contempt. How dare this guy play with sword formation in front of him? Yi Mo didn't even have the will to break this formation. Yi Mo waved, and a huge mountain fell above Lu Xingchuan's head. It was no smaller than the seal Chang Tian, immortal monarch, used. This mountain gave Lu Xingchuan an extremely strange feeling. It seemed to have crossed the void and fell down, but there was no tracks of it. The essence spirit next to Lu Xingchuan couldn't resist spurting space law God art. Hearing this, Lu Xingchuan didn't dare to be careless at all. He immediately used the 7-star sword formation to smash at World Rock. In the spur of the moment, he could only release an ordinary defense immortal artifact to block this rainbow. Dense clashing sounds occurred. Lu Xingchuan's defense immortal artifact was immediately cut into pieces. Rainbow sword rays shrunk and formed a purple beam smashing at Lu Xingchuan. At this instant, a powerful domain appeared, instantly stopping Yi Mo's rainbow. Lu Xingchuan retreated crazily, but the beam still drew a long mark on his chest. While blood splurged out, the sword formation was smashed in the door by the World Rock. Crack, 6 swords shattered. Only the real one remained, but was falling down wobbly. Lu Xingchuan forcefully took it back. How could Lu Xingchuan not know he was no match for Yi Mo at all? Even if he was at his peak, he would need the essence spirit to help in beating Yi Mo. Lu Xingchuan wanted to run. But how could Yi Mo let Lu Xingchuan run? Countless lightning blasted in the void. Lightning sand instantly formed a huge black lightning spear with some gold color. The spear fell down, and the nearby void was instantly locked by the lightning spear. Kaimi Qianbei, please help me. This huge golden lightning spear filled Lu Xingchuan's heart with despair. He really couldn't understand how a mere immortal king primary stage was this powerful. Give me your body, otherwise I can't stop him too. The essence spirit said heavily. Lu Xingchuan didn't expect Yi Mo was this powerful. Even an immortal king might not be a match for Yi Mo. He was suppressed by a cultivator, who only ascended for a few decades. Seeing that the seven-star sword was about to clash with lightning spear, Lu Jingchuan knew that if he didn't make a decision, his essence spirit would be destroyed too. Thus, he could only let open his mind and let the essence spirit control his sea of consciousness and body. Rumble. The lightning spear hacked the seven-star sword, and an explosion sounded. The sword flew out instantly. The lightning sword just eased and smashed at Lu Jingchuan again. The terrifying force swept past the entire void, causing ripples. This entire region of the void was under the force of the spear. Splurge, blood and flesh flew. Half of Lu Jingchuan's body exploded from the lightning spear. The spear pierced his body and went into the void. Yi Mo's eyes narrowed. He knew the power of lightning sand. It definitely wouldn't just tear open half the body and disappear into the void. The body would definitely explode after being pierced, but Lu Jingchuan only lost half his body. This wasn't normal. "Kaimi, you old bastard." Lu Jingchuan's furious voice sounded. Yi Mo was shook. The next moment, he saw an extremely hollow figure seep out. It was Lu Jingchuan's essence spirit, but it was incomplete too, probably due to the lightning spear. However, the half-bodied Lu Jingchuan grabbed the figure and sent it into his mouth, eating his own essence spirit. Yi Mo dazed for a moment and realized that Lu Jingchuan was possessed. A guy who could devour essence spirit was not ordinary. A guy like Lu Jingchuan deserved such predicament. Yi Mo sneered. Instantly, the damaged body of Lu Jingchuan recovered. "Kid, Lu Jingchuan is dead. The conflict between you is over. We don't have any conflicts. We'll go our own paths." A coarse voice sounded from Lu Jingchuan's mouth. Yi Mo knew that Lu Jingchuan was really possessed. Yi Mo sneered. He'd be an idiot to believe this guy would let it go. This guy could dodge lightning sand and make it unable to release its full power. He even used the lightning spear to weaken Lu Jingchuan. His calculations and power was stronger than both him and Lu Jingchuan. Yi Mo said nothing and released World Rock while hacking out. This person gave him much greater danger than Lu Jingchuan. If he didn't kill this guy while he was weak, it would be too later, when this guy recovered. Seeing Yi Mo dared to attack him, Kaimi sneered but wasn't scared. He punched at the World Rock and released a blood spear. The spear formed blood rivers in the void. The putrid smell of blood was revolting. If Lu Jingchuan was still alive, he would see that amicable-looking Kai, Mi Qianbei, was like a demon king now. The blood river charged at Yi Mo's Zisu fell down. Thud. A heavy thud sounded, and the blood river was torn apart by Zisu. "What god art is this?" Kaimi yelled in shock. "I'll let you try my crevice strike." Yi Mo's force was even more dominant after breaking the blood river. The crevice swept the lethal force in the void and was slicing towards Kaimi's forehead. Thud. Kaimi's fist smashed with the World Rock, and in that instant, the fist cracked apart like a turtle shell, and then in another crack, the entire fist disappeared. Thud. Kaimi's fist smashed with the World Rock, and in that instant, the fist cracked apart like a turtle shell, and then in another crack, the entire fist disappeared. After the blood river was hacked apart, Yi Mo's Zisu still kept sweeping in lethal force like crazy. At this moment, Kaimi knew he couldn't fight Yi Mo head-on. It's not that he couldn't beat Yi Mo, but that he didn't have full control of the body. When Kaimi saw his forehead slowly crack open under the strike, he didn't want to fight with Yi Mo anymore. The spear flew back, and the blood river rushed into Zisu. Zisu didn't slow down at all. Space itself in the void was drawn over by Zisu. If Kaimi's blood river was like a waterfall in the sky, Yi Mo's Zisu was like an endless black hole devouring the entire blood river. The blood river dissipated, but after that Kaimi was gone. Yi Mo immediately stretched out his spirit sense domain. 1 second later, Yemo caught a sliver of immortal essence wave in the void. Kaimi could use Lu Shengchuan's body and immortal essence, and his spirit sense was this powerful. He was definitely no weaker than Yan Jiutian. However, they used different methods of possession. Yan Jiutian wanted to cultivate back to Tao Vindication Divine Emperor slowly himself. This type of possession was not match different to rebirth. Yet, Kaimi could even use Lu Shengchuan's immortal essence. This meant that he used to be a divine emperor. This person knew all the secrets of Lu Shengchuan and definitely knew about the chaos tree. Kaimi was weak now. How could Yemo let him go? When he found the immortal essence of Kaimi leaving, he immediately chased up. Kaimi indeed could use Lu Shengchuan's immortal essence, other than due to his powerful spirit sense. Another main reason was that he knew Lu Shengchuan's immortal essence and Sea of Consciousness too well. He was studying Lu Shengchuan's immortal essence and Sea of Consciousness constantly. Kaimi knew that Yemo had a low-grade flying god artifact, but he wasn't worried. He believed that Yemo wouldn't even know when he left. But soon, Kaimi realized that was impossible. The weak space ripples of when he left didn't trick this immortal king primary stage. Yemo chased up and was getting closer and closer. Now, Kaimi was really beginning to worry. If he had 1 year, he wouldn't be afraid of Yemo at all, but now Yemo didn't even give him 15 minutes. He chased him closely. No matter what stealth cultivation method or mobility technique he used, Yemo would soon be able to find him and chase up. He didn't have any high-level mobility rune. As the two chased, they went further and further in the void. Kaimi was experienced. He could slowly fuse into the body while running. Meanwhile, Yemo's low-grade god artifact was very fast and thus followed him closely. Kaimi was annoyed. He didn't understand how this immortal king was this ferocious. There was no way Yemo could track him this closely without a powerful spirit sense domain. Powerful spirit sense domains required a powerful spirit sense cultivation method. Only those ancient powerful beings could use it. He didn't understand where Yemo got it. If he didn't have a blood spear, he wouldn't be able to get away from Yemo's low-grade god artifact. Yemo was depressed too. He could clearly chase up to Kaimi, but after a month he didn't even know where he was, and he still didn't catch. Kaimi low-grade god artifact had a steady speed, but it was hard to accelerate. He didn't dare not to use it, or he wouldn't be able to keep up. Another 2 months had passed. The two's distance didn't close nor get further. If Kaimi didn't keep changing directions and stealthing, Yemo even wanted to tell Small Ginseng to control the space-time boat. Kaimi was annoyed at first, but after a few months, he settled instead. He started to fuse his body and immortal essence even faster as he ran away. If he just used mobility technique once in a while and suddenly changed direction, he wouldn't be caught up. But sometimes when he thought about how he was a divine emperor, and yet he was getting chased like a dog, Kaimi was furious. The king naming had finished. Every immortal king got their own title. At the Immortal King Tablet Square, there was news that Yu Hung Heaven Lord hunted an immortal king with an immortal monarch. It said the three went into the void, but they all went missing in the void. It was nothing new that someone went missing, but it was no simple thing if one of them was an immortal monarch. An immortal monarch hunting an immortal king went missing. This was unbelievable. Of course, it was possible that the immortal monarch was just busy, and so didn't come back. Only the Heaven Lord Alliance Immortal Kings knew that Chang Tian Immortal Monarch wasn't busy. Even if he was, it would be at Extreme Wind Heaven. Chang Tian Immortal Monarch should be coming back to Extreme Wind Heaven as soon as he killed that sect leader Luo. But neither Chang Tian nor Lu Jingchuan came back. After the two went missing, the Heaven Lord Alliance didn't hold another meeting. As for the new Heaven Lord of Yu Hung Heaven, it was put on hold. No one mentioned this. As for MOU Immortal Sect and MOU Immortal City, no one would dare to offend them. Gong Hua Heaven Lord Jiji, Immortal King Meng Changxue rejoiced of his decision. Even Chong Tian, Immortal Monarch, went missing hunting that sect leader Luo. Much less him if he did something against Yi Mo. After the king naming finished, Lu Feng got Huani Immortal King. Her ranking wasn't low. It was top grade in the low heaven domain. Lu Feng heard it was an immortal monarch hunting him, but there was nothing she could do. She could only stay at Mo, immortal sect, and protect the sect and city. Yi Mo had never thought he would chase someone for 5 years, nor did Kaimi expect he would be chased for 5 years. Yi Mo had never thought he would chase someone for 5 years, nor did Kaimi expect he would be chased for 5 years. If it was someone else, Yi Mo would have long stopped wasting his time, but he couldn't let go of this Kai. Kaimi not only knew who he was and knew he had Chaos Tree. If this guy got away and recovered his power, he would have nowhere to go. In 5 years, Yi Mo went through countless void fissures with Kaimi and countless void chaos flows, but Kaimi was always fine. Yi Mo knew he has the golden page world himself. At the same time, he also realized that this old bastard must have a sturdy world, even a true spirit world. Kaimi felt so frustrated. He couldn't shake off Yi Mo even after crossing void fissure many times. The true spirit world of Lu Jingchuan was originally his. Kaimi used the time while he was running to spirit control it again. Although this truth spirit world was incomplete and even a little damaged, but it was still a world. It didn't affect his control of the world. So when the truth spirit world crossed the void fissure, Kaimi could clearly feel that Yi Mo could control his world too. Kaimi had long proved that Yi Mo not only had Chaos Tree, but Chaos World. Any of these things would shock the entire immortal realm and make countless people go crazy for it. Even Divine Emperor was of no exception. He was very crazy about it now, but he couldn't beat Yi Mo. Kaimi just wanted to shake off Yi Mo now and quickly recover his power. When he was strong enough, the first thing he would do is go to Mo, immortal sect, and annihilate it, forcing Yi Mo out. But now, he felt that if Yi Mo chased for 1 more year, he would fall into Yi Mo's hands. That's why he was beginning to worry. Yi Mo also knew that his chaos world was exposed, so he had made up his mind. Even if he had to chase this guy for a few 100 years, he would kill this guy. After these 5 years, Yi Mo had calmed down. He didn't ask that he closed up on the guy, but just that he didn't fall behind. He was getting closer and closer to Kaimi. Yi Mo believed he would be able to kill Kaimi in a year or 2. Although Yi Mo didn't cultivate these 5 years, his spirit sense kept getting refined in the void, as he had to keep using it to find Kaimi. It was already on par with Immortal Monarch middle stage. These few years, he had completely stabilized his power on the space-time boat and learned more about his god arts. And Yi Mo's spirit sense was beyond ordinary Immortal Monarch middle stage spirit sense. As he had to search for Kaimi, he had to keep his spirit sense domain open constantly. His spirit sense has even materialized. Today, Yi Mo suddenly felt some waves coming from the Golden Page world. Yi Mo knew that Shadowless had woken up. After Yi Mo agreed, Shadowless appeared on the space-time boat. Small Ginseng came out too. "You're at Heaven Tao Tertiary Stage?" Yi Mo asked. "Boss, what do you expect? I never waste resources." Shadowless said gloatingly, "1 level 9 Immortal Spirit Beast Core. Even if a dog ate it, he would become Great Eternity Immortal. And yet you say you never waste resources." Yi Mo was speechless. Shadowless was too shameless. Shadowless kept saying, "Boss, I'm not a dog. I'm—" Small Ginseng immediately said, "Big brother, I know you're not a dog. You said it before." Small Ginseng then added, "You're a bug, right? A pea-sized bug. I didn't expect a bug. Like you could become this big." Hearing this, Shadowless's face sunk. but he didn't dare to teach small ginseng a lesson in front of Big Boss. Plus, there was a forbidden ground in the Golden Page world that was around the Chaos Tree. Even in the Golden Page world, if small ginseng goes in there would be nothing he could do. He could only say it's because I ate Emperor Tao Crystal, and then I mutated to Heaven Tao. Oh, I thought you only ate a level 9 Immortal Spirit Beast Core. There's Emperor Tao Crystal too. These are both Emperor grade things, and you could eat both of them. You're too good. Small Ginseng raised his thumb. How could Shadowless not be able to tell that Small Ginseng was scorning him? Small Ginseng was misbehaving more and more. When he first came to the Golden Page world, Small Ginseng called him Big Brother all the time. But now, he kept scorning him. Big Boss, we're in the void again. Shadowless suddenly realized that they were in the void. Small Ginseng said in contempt, we've been flying in here for 5 or 6 years. Your information is really timely. Shadowless spread his wings and said, Boss, I'm the most familiar with space. It me boat. Let me control it. Just tell me where to go. Where is there no markings on the location disk? Small Ginseng said in contempt, if you could control it, I would be helping control it already. I'm better than you at controlling the ship. Boss is chasing an idiot. That guy knows nothing but running. We've been chasing him for 5 years, but we still haven't caught up. Hearing this, Shadowless reached out his spirit sense and saw Kaimi, who was running away like crazy. Boss, I can chase up to this guy in a short time. Shadowless saw the red spear under Kaimi and said. Hearing this, Yemo thought Shadowless was different to Small Ginseng. Small Ginseng was fast, but had no battle power. Letting Small Ginseng stop Kaimi was like throwing food at a dog. But Shadowless was different. He was Heaven Tao tertiary stage now, so he was on par with Immortal King primary stage. Even though he was no match for Kaimi, he could still stop him. Thinking about this, Yemo got up and said, Small Ginseng, you control the space-time boat. Shadowless catched that guy immediately. This guy might be a divine emperor essence spirit. If you catch him, you can eat him. Haha, watch me, boss. Shadowless laughed. But just when he was about to go out, he thought of something and pitifully turned around. Boss, aren't I just going to be food if I go chase a divine emperor? Idiot. Yemo slapped Shadowless's head and said, if this guy still had divine emperor power, would he run away? This guy is only possessing a body. He's at most an immortal king. With this, Shadowless dashed out in a golden line. His burst of speed in a short time was faster than even the space-time boat. At the same time, Yemo released World Rock. Kaimi's power was recovering too slow as Yemo was chasing so closely. When he saw Shadowless dash over in a golden light, he immediately felt things weren't right. Shadowless's huge mouth already bit down on him. Kaimi instantly released the blood spear, smashing blood rivers at Shadowless, but Shadowless opened his mouth, fearlessly wanting to devour the blood river. What is this thing? Kaimi looked at Shadowless in shock. He had been through countless years as a divine emperor, but had never seen such immortal spirit beast. Was this some ancient god beast? Rumble. Shadowless ate a few blood rivers, but the blood river flow was endless. Shadowless was eventually struck and flew out in pain. Seeing this, Yemo knew that Kaimi's power improved by a great deal. Yemo charged out of the space-time boat and hacked with Zisu while smashing World Rock down. With this slice, the nearby space and lethal force gathered. A terrifying purple crevice appeared in the void before the strike was completely released. With this slice, the nearby space and lethal force gathered. A terrifying purple crevice appeared in the void before the strike was completely released. Kaimi looked at this with a shiver. Just looking at this, he knew that Yemo's god art improved again since a few years ago. If he took this move with force, his body would cripple again. But Kaimi knew he had to stop it. This move had completely bound the nearby space. He could even feel that Yi Mo's spirit sense was actually on par with his. Seeing this, Kaimi's heart sunk. He knew there was no other way around it. If he forcefully ran away now, he wouldn't be able to stop Yi Mo's next move. Then, even his essence spirit would be destroyed. Kaimi was furious. Lu Xingquan's body was perfect for him, but he just got it, and now it was going to be destroyed. He didn't even know if his essence spirit would be able to escape. Even if there was no one hunting him, it was uncertain if his essence spirit could survive in the void. He released the blood spear, sweeping out hanging blood rivers again. The rumbling sound echoed in the void. Kaimi had been through countless battles. Even if he couldn't stop Yi Mo's attack, he wouldn't lose the will to battle. Just when the blood rivers were about to smash into the purple sword rays, a black whirlpool appeared a few hundred km away. The entrance was a whirlpool that was spinning to the extreme. Spirit sense would be shredded upon contact. It was so black it was shining. It was like dark ink. Seeing this, Kaimi burned his essence blood and lifespan without hesitation. His face went from middle-aged to extremely frail, but the instant Yi Mo's crevice fell, Kaimi disappeared. Rumble. The remnant blood river was hacked in half and exploded in the void. Yi Mo's spirit sense saw Kaimi dashing into that black void. In an instant, Yi Mo made up his mind. He took small ginseng and shadowless and chased into that whirlpool too. The instant he went in, Yi Mo went into the Golden Page world. Inside the Golden Page world, as soon as Yi Mo reached his spirit sense out, he felt his sea of consciousness rumble. He quickly took back his spirit sense. In some places, it would at most destroy the spirit sense he sent out, but never before had a place affected his sea of consciousness like this. Yi Mo's heart sunk. His determination to kill Kaimi was huge, but in here, he couldn't release his spirit sense at all. How was he to find Kaimi? Boss, did I do something bad? That old guy is so strong, I couldn't eat him in one go. Shadowless said quietly. Yi Mo waved his hand. It has nothing to do with you. This guy is a tough bone. Yi Mo could only helplessly wait and see now. Kaimi scanned his spirit sense out as soon as he went in the whirlpool too. When his spirit sense was destroyed, and even his sea of consciousness rumbled, Kaimi was instead happy. He knew that he had finally escaped from Yi Mo. Kaimi breathed easy and started to recover in his truth spirit world. Shadowless's ferocious speed and that powerful mouth still scared him. This was a breed he had never seen before. He could tell that immortal spirit beast was only a child stage. If it matured, it would be terrifying. Kaimi shook his head and cast these thoughts aside, focusing on cultivation. But 2 days later, Kaimi felt things weren't right. His truth spirit world was slowly cracking. Chaos flow swept in. Not good. His truth spirit world was about to crack. Kaimi was instantly anxious. In this place, if the world cracked, he would be crushed to nothing. Suddenly, he heard a crack. Kaimi's heart sunk. He knew his world had crippled. Kaimi then noticed something wasn't right. The nearby black whirlpool was gone. He was safe. He was in a bluish-gray world. The cracked truth spirit world was below his feet. The mountains, rivers, and immortal spirit herb were all just waste now. Just when Kaimi wanted to study where this was, he thought of the whirlpool that swept him in. It was long gone now. There was only a sliver of remaining wave. Kaimi wanted to take the pieces of the truth spirit world again, but suddenly there was another sliver of wave in the bluish-gray space. How could Kaimi not know that this person would probably be Yi Mo? He instantly used his mobility technique to disappear without even picking up his truth spirit pieces. Yi Mo came out of the Golden Page world. The pile of truth spirit world rubble lay before him. Yi Mo immediately knew that Kaimi came here too, and he got away. What was this place? It was bluish-gray everywhere, looking quite similar to Chaos Star Realm. Yi Mo didn't have time to care about the truth spirit world. His spirit sense scanned out. He was going to find the tracks of Kai. Aye. He couldn't let this guy get away. As soon as Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out, he realized that spirit sense was suppressed here. He then heard a loud roar, and then a 50-meter-tall immortal spirit beast charged over. It had an ape face, and its body was covered in blue fur. It could stand on 2 legs. Yi Mo reached out his immortal king domain. This giant immortal spirit beast just waved its hand, and a light crack sounded. At the same time, Yi Mo felt the backlash, and his immortal essence coagulated. What was this? Yi Mo released World Rock in his shock. Rumble. The World Rock smashed the arm of the immortal spirit beast, creating this ear-shattering sound. Yi Mo's World Rock flew out a few km, but this tall, immortal spirit beast's arm was fine. Yi Mo was shocked. He had never seen such terrifying immortal spirit beast. This immortal spirit beast seemed to have been enraged by Yi Mo. It flung up its arm and slapped over at Yi Mo. The terrifying pressure squeezed the space. Yi Mo was shook. This pressure purely came from this swing. It had no spirit sense pressure nor domain pressure. It was just pure power. Yi Mo burned his immortal essence and instantly broke free, and then used an instant transmission. The immortal spirit beast slapped where Yi Mo was, and immediately a huge ravine with tens of km radius appeared. Nothing on that area of land remained. Yi Mo was shocked. He didn't dare to keep fighting this thing now. If it wasn't that this beast didn't have spirit sense nor magic, Yi Mo would be no match for it at all. Yi Mo was shocked. He didn't dare to keep fighting this thing now. If it wasn't that this beast didn't have spirit sense nor magic, Yi Mo would be no match for it at all. Seeing Yi Mo retreat, the immortal spirit beast chased over. Its speed was like a comet. Yi Mo quickly released Space-Time Boat and sped off running. When Yi Mo started running, he was dumbfounded. In his spirit sense, and before him, there were these immortal spirit beasts everywhere. Some were very small, only 6 meters tall, but those big ones were larger than the immortal spirit beast he just fought. Some of them even had wings. How could he run? Yi Mo's battle with that immortal spirit beast startled the other immortal spirit beast, and they all came charging at Yi Mo. Seeing that he was surrounded by these immortal spirit beasts, Yi Mo didn't dare to waste time. The space-time boat seemingly instant transmissioned out. As for whether Kaimi was alive or dead, Yi Mo couldn't care. 10 seconds later, Yi Mo found that no matter where he went, there were these immortal spirit beasts. Some places had more, some places had less. Yi Mo found a place with less immortal spirit beast before calling Shadowless and Small Ginseng out. Which of you know these immortal spirit beasts? Yi Mo asked. Shadowless shook his head. Small Ginseng said, Boss, they are called star beasts. They're neither immortal spirit beast or god beast. They a type of beast living at the border. They only cultivate bodily power and strength, not essence spirit nor spirit sense. They have no god arts or magic, but ordinary god arts can't do anything to their power. When power is at a certain level, no immortal essence nor spirit sense is needed. Just pure power will tear through everything. Yi Mo nodded. Even his immortal king domain was useless under the pure power of these star beasts. Seeing Yi Mo agree, Small Ginseng looked at Shadowless gloatingly. Where star beasts are, it must be the border of a realm domain. Usually, there would be chaos chi here. Star beasts love that. Now, there are very little places with chaos chi, so there's very little star beasts. It's quite strange that there are so many here. Shadowless said awkwardly. Small Ginseng, your knowledge is quite good. Small Ginseng said happily, of course. I also know that star beast cores are called star cores. They're used to make the top-grade body, refinement, immortal pills. As they spoke, some star beasts saw Yi Mo and already charged over. Yi Mo knew that it wasn't too plausible to keep running in a place like this, so he could only fight them. This time, The star beasts were all below 30 meters. Yi-Mo hacked out Zisu. Rainbow! The leading star beast saw this and roared, punching at Zisu. Fist and Zisu sword ray clashed, creating a huge blast. The ground collapsed. The sword ray left a mark on the beast's body. A blue liquid dripped out. Small Ginseng couldn't fight, so Yi-Mo put him away. Meanwhile, Shadowless charged out. Small Ginseng behaved well just then if he didn't do well, and Boss was unhappy. Then Small Ginseng might be appointed Big Brother. Shadowless roared and opened his mouth. A 6-meter-tall star beast was devoured. Yi-Mo was quite surprised with Shadowless's ferocity. The star beast that fought Yi-Mo was furious and roared as it charged at Yi-Mo again. Yi-Mo put away Zisu and flung out lightning. Lightning splashed in the air, whizzing everywhere. Then, in an explosion, the lightning gathered into a bucket-thickness lightning spear. The spear tore through the air and pierced down from the void. Thud! The pressure field turned to nothing under the lightning spear. Rumble! The spear pierced through the star beast's chest, but didn't stop there. It penetrated the hard ground and nailed the star beast. The star beast looked dazedly at the spear before falling down. Yi-Mo, breathe easy. This thing was too hard to kill. He used 2 god arts to just kill one star beast that wasn't even 50 meters tall. Woo, this thing tastes bad. Shadowless sounded, with this countless star beasts charged over. Yi-Mo knew that lightning swords were probably completely useless. Heaven Flame 9 Suns would have quite some trouble, and it was too taxing on immortal essence and spirit sense. So, Yi-Mo just used 4 stack wave kill. Waves of 100-meter-tall lava waves charged over. In the blink of the eye, it was a sea of flames before Yi-Mo and Shadowless. The first wave swooped the countless star beast with terrifying force, but Yi-Mo saw in shock that only some short star beasts were killed by the wave. Most of the star beasts were fine, at most just a bit withered. He just burned their layer of blue fur. Yi-Mo rushed his immortal essence, pushing out the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th wave. The terrifying heat instantly melted this place. Explosions sounded, and after the 4 waves, these few thousand star beasts were either dead or injured. Some smaller star beasts had completely turned to dust, while some larger ones were injured. Yi-Mo was very shocked, for stack wave kill was extremely consuming on immortal essence and spirit sense, and even such terrifying attack couldn't kill all of them. These star beasts were too powerful. A roar sounded from the distance. Yi-Mo knew he had to quickly run. If he didn't, he wouldn't be able to use 4 stack wave kill nonstop. If there were 50-meter-tall star beasts, 4 stack wave kill wouldn't be able to injure them anyways. Yi-Mo took the star beast he killed with lightning spear into the Golden Page world and dashed into the ground in Golden Page world. Yi-Mo then threw the star beast to Shadowless. Shadowless ate it in a gulp. Although this thing tasted bad, Shadowless knew it benefited him so much. A day later, Yi-Mo took Shadowless out of the Golden Page world again. The surrounding was filled with star beasts. Yi-Mo didn't use 4 stack wave kill again. Yi-Mo just released Zisu and started fighting them. Meanwhile, Zisu kept devouring them. At first, Shadowless could only eat 5-meter-tall ones, but later on he even dared to eat anything below 30 meters. If he was having trouble digesting, Shadowless would go into the Golden Page world immediately and come back out once he was done. Yi-Mo was amidst the star beast crowd slaughter. He slowly understood that not only was immortal essence and spirit sense needed to kill them, but also a power law. This power law was very hard to control, but as long as you captured one sliver of it, you can even kill 30-meter-tall star beasts with one strike, not using any god art. But if the star beast was taller than 30 meters, it surpassed this ordinary power law. As Yi-Mo fought, those terrifying fists kept striking him. Even with his immortal spirit body tertiary stage power, His skin and flesh cracked. Yemo could only keep using body refinement cultivation method at the same time. Shadowless kept going in and out of the Golden Page world while devouring Star Beast. In this endless slaughter, they would immortal city run to another place if a Star Beast taller than 30M came. Yemo wanted to learn the power law through killing, while Shadowless just wanted to break through. Plus, there was no other way out in here other than killing Star Beasts. The place Star Beasts lived at was boundless. Yemo and Shadowless fought for a few months and flew for a few months. Eventually, Yemo just kept killing Star Beasts while cultivating his god art and refining his immortal essence and spirit sense. The place Star Beasts lived at was boundless. Yemo and Shadowless fought for a few months and flew for a few months. Eventually, Yemo just kept killing Star Beasts while cultivating his god art and refining his immortal essence and spirit sense. As for cultivation level, Yemo didn't plan to cultivate it. The main problem was that he didn't have enough cultivation resources. In this place, there was only Star Beasts. There would occasionally be some high-level forgery material, but no immortal range, an immortal spirit herb. Yemo's main cultivation resources were from Chang Tian, immortal monarch. Yemo got a top-grade immortal range and 2 middle-grade immortal ranges from there. There was also 1 billion immortal crystals. This really wasn't many immortal crystals for an immortal monarch, but he had large amounts of immortal spirit herb and forgery materials. These things were more important than immortal crystals for Yemo. A year later, Shadowless's power was rising steadily after devouring large amounts of Star Beasts, but Yemo's power didn't change at all. However, his immortal essence and spirit sense were more refined. Even a Star Beast that was taller than 30 meters would be affected by his world rock. 2 years later, Shadowless was near Heaven Tao Peak, and Yemo's Tang Meng Rao could injure a Star Beast taller than 30M. This endless slaughter and running would drive someone mad. But luckily, Yemo would go sit under the bitter bamboo once in a while to meditate and digest what he learned before he went out to slaughter again. At the 5th year, Shadowless was Heaven Tao Peak stage, just 1 step away from Immortal Tao. Meanwhile, Yemo mastered all his god arts and reached Immortal King middle stage. However, the 3 immortal ranges were gone. When Yemo first came here, a 50M tall Star Beast could slap Yemo away easily, and the World Rock couldn't do anything against them. But now, after 5 years, Yemo no longer feared the 50M tall Star Beasts. Those below 30M couldn't even last 1 round in Yemo's hands. Even 50M tall Star Beasts were often killed by Yemo. His god art, whether it was Void, Crevice, Tang Meng Rao, or Lightning Sand, were all many times stronger. Another reason Yemo killed them so easily now was because only striking the lethal spot of the Star Beast would kill them in 1 move. Each Star Beast had different lethal spots. Shadowless could devour Star Beast that were below 50 meters now. The only one who didn't improve was Small Ginseng, but his main ability wasn't in fighting. Yemo estimated now that even if he faced Immortal Monarch middle stage, he wouldn't lose. Immortal Monarch middle stage wasn't necessarily as strong as Star Beast, but the only concern was that they not only had immortal essence, but also spirit sense and god art. If there was a 100M tall Star Beast, then Yemo would have to run. There were many of these. He had only seen them 6 times in these 5 years, due to Yemo and Shadowless's crazy carnage in this area. The Star Beast recognized the 2, and if they came over, pretty much no Star Beast wanted to fight them. Yemo and Shadowless were tired of killing 2, so as long as they didn't come, they would just go their own way. These Star Beasts weren't completely dumb too. Seeing that if they didn't attack Yemo and Shadowless, they wouldn't get attacked, they knew to move away when Yemo and Shadowless came. The subtle rule that came to be was when Yemo and Shadowless came, The star beasts would move aside. When they left, they would go back. If there was a 100 m tall star beast, Yi Mo and Shadowless would move away. What disappointed Yi Mo was that after searching for this long, he still didn't find a way out. There was no space fissure nor space whirlpool. He didn't have the power to tear the space open. Su Jingwen stood at the Immortal Ascension Palace, feeling the dense, immortal spirit chi. She was shaking with excitement. She really wanted to ascend with Su and them, but she really couldn't wait. She was thinking about Yi Mo every moment. She cultivated so hard just so she could come to see Yi Mo earlier. Now that she finally ascended, she just wanted to find Yi Mo quickly and go into his arms. Yuan Heaven, Shi Hao Immortal City, Immortal Ascension Palace. The words made Su Jingwen realize she came to a low heaven domain in the immortal realm. Su Jingwen had been in the cultivation realm for a while, but she did come from Earth and didn't know the hardship and cruelty of the immortal realm. When she just got to Luoyu continent, she lived a hard life and almost died, but after seeing Yi Mo and going to Mo-Yu City, her power rose drastically. With Yi Mo's authority on Luoyu continent and Mo-Yu City status on Luoyu continent, Su Jingwen could do whatever she wanted there. But she didn't like to show off. However, if she said something, not even South Peace State, but no one in the entire Luoyu continent would dare to rebuke. Su Jingwen thought that as long as she could find teleportation formation, she would be able to make it to Gong Hua Heaven. Walking out of the Immortal Ascension Palace, Su Jingwen immediately felt extremely powerful spirit senses and immediately felt lacking confidence. She realized this was no longer Luoyu continent Mo-Yu City, but a strange immortal realm. Feeling those powerful and contemptuous spirit sense, Su Jingwen shivered and suppressed her excitement. She quickly looked down. She suddenly felt that the immortal realm in her mind was completely different to the real one. Which cultivation realm did you come up from? A loud voice interrupted Su Jingwen, and Su Jingwen saw a middle-aged immortal stop her path. His hair wasn't long, but his power was much higher. Su Jingwen didn't know what power this person was, but she could tell it was many levels higher than her. Remembering Yi Mo telling her not to expose where she came from and just to meet up in Gong Hua Heaven, Su Jingwen hesitated for a moment and said, "I came from Xinqiang continent." Hearing this, the man shook his head and lost interest. Xinqiang continent? Great. Our San Kai Jade immortal sex found father came from there. Welcome. A fat immortal heard this, and his eyes turned into a fine line with his smile. There were many immortals here, at the Immortal Ascension Palace, coming from big sects. They were here to fight the most excellent sect members for their sect. Most of the solo cultivators in the immortal realm were disqualified from rounds and rounds of selection. So, in order to get good disciples, one had to search among the newly ascended cultivators. Usually, unless you were extremely extraordinary, people wouldn't even be bothered fighting over you. This fat immortal saw Su Jingwen was quite pretty and from Xinqiang continent. That's why he was a little interested. "Sorry, I want to ask where the teleportation formation to Gong Hua Heaven is. I just want to go Gong Hua Heaven. I don't want to join a sect yet." Su Jingwen quickly said. As soon as Su Jingwen said this, the nearby immortals laughed. A newly ascended truth realization state cultivator wanted to take the teleportation formation before even leaving the Immortal Ascension Palace. This was too funny. Su Jingwen looked at the talent testing magic artifact, but didn't reach her hand out to test it. She knew her talent. In the entire Luoyu continent, there was probably no one better than her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be the first to ascend to the immortal realm in such a short time. Su Jingwen looked at the talent testing magic artifact, but didn't reach her hand out to test it. She knew her talent. In the entire Luoyu continent, there was probably no one better than her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be the first to ascend to the immortal realm in such a short time. These people came to test talent clearly for taking insect members. If they found her talent was very good, they definitely wouldn't let her go easily. Place your hands into the testing immortal artifact. It can test your talent and age to determine your talent. The fat cultivator smiled at Su Jingwen. Sorry, I don't want to join these sections. My husband is in Gong, Hua Heaven. I just want to go to Gong, Hua Heaven to find my husband. Su Jingwen clenched her teeth and said, before the fat immortal said anything, someone on the side laughed, looking for a Dao partner? There's people everywhere. Why run to Gong Hua Heaven? Su Jingwen glared at that person furiously. Seeing this, the person said, I said it. So what? Are you going to kill me? I want to see how a newly ascended hollow immortal is going to kill a golden immortal. Ha ha. Su Jingwen turned to leave. She knew she couldn't beat anyone here. Plus, she knew this place forbids fighting. Ha ha. That immortal laughed again. You shouldn't go look for your husband. An insect like him is probably long dead. There's one right here. The fat immortal's face sunk. Su Jingwen dared to go without testing. Before he reproached Su Jingwen released her dual moon ice blades. How dare this person curse that Yemo was dead? The two ice blades carried a white ray of ice shooting at the immortal who laughed. Seeing this, everyone shook their heads. The rule here was the strong immortals must not attack the newly ascended cultivators. If a low-level cultivator dared to attack an immortal here, those with high power didn't need to hold back. He could deal with the attacker however he liked. Su Jingwen was tricked into attacking. This meant that this person could do whatever he wanted to Su Jingwen. Crack, crack. The golden immortal just casually released his magic artifact, and Su Jingwen's dual moon ice blades were broken. Seeing this, Su Jingwen was very anxious. Yemo gave her these blades. It had more meaning than the magic artifact itself. Just when Su Jingwen wanted to go up and take it back, she heard a sound transmission. You're a newly ascended cultivator. Hurry up and run. Offending immortals here is asking for death. Hearing this, Su Jingwen suddenly realized this place wasn't the cultivation realm anymore, but the immortal realm. She had no right to talk. She could only find Yemo first. Thinking about this, Su Jingwen forcefully turned and flew towards outside. This golden immortal was waiting for Su Jingwen to come up and take her magic artifact and then attack her. This way, it would seem as though Su Jingwen started all this. However, Su Jingwen suddenly changed directions and flew out of the Immortal Ascension Palace. The golden immortal dazed and chased out. The fat cultivator also chased out. Seeing this, the rest of the people of the Immortal Ascension Palace all flew out. How could Su Jingwen not know she was in big trouble now? The immortal attacking her was already grabbing at her. At this moment, she saw a huge tablet outside. The tablet said, "Mo, you immortal sect, welcome all Immortal Ascension cultivators from Luo Yu continent." Su Jingwen charged over without hesitation and grabbed one corner of the tablet, saying loudly, "I'm a cultivator of Mo, you immortal sect." The golden immortal saw this and stopped attacking but sneered, "Mo, you immortal sect only welcomes Luo Yu continent cultivators. What do you have to do with this? Place you dared to attack me at Immortal Ascension Palace. I must take you away." The first immortal to ask Su Jingwen looked at her and asked, "Didn't you say you came from Xinqiang continent? How come you're from Luo Yu continent now?" Su Jingwen was lost for words. The immortal shook his head. He's certain that Su Jingwen just wanted to escape this golden immortal and said she came from Luo Yu continent. Mo, you immortal sect was dominant, but they wouldn't intervene in such thing. Seeing the Mo, you immortal sect, immortal shook his head. Su Jingwen was desperate. She knew that Mo probably set up this sect. She quickly said, "My husband is called Mo. Since you're from Mo, you immortal sect, you should know him." What confused Su Jingwen was that the immortal shook his head. Sorry, I really don't know. Some EMO little people knew that EMO was the sect leader of MOU. Even Lu Feng only knew later. Haha, keep making up stories. The golden immortal laughed. Your brother Ye's Dao partner? A joyful voice interrupted the golden immortal's words. Su Jingwen immediately said yes. Qian Bei, Wan Bei's Dao partner, is really Yimo. He told me to go wait for him at Gonghua Heaven. What proof do you have? Another voice sounded. A square-faced man landed in front of everyone. No one could tell the power of this person. Qian Bei, this woman just ascended and dared to attack immortals in the Immortal Ascension Palace. What she said was full of lies. This golden immortal quickly said, "Piss off." The man yelled at the golden immortal. Su Jingwen immediately took out a crystal card and said, "Qian Bei, this is my husband's image." The man didn't even take it and just scanned with his spirit sense before laughing. "It's real indeed. You can put it away. Brother Yi, I've finally helped you a bit." The square-faced man said to Su Jingwen, Hui, you can call me by my name. I'm friends with Yimo. He's always been helping me. I came to join him this time, but I didn't expect to be able to help him. This is great. Out of the friends Yimo knew, Hui was the most mysterious one, but he was a worthy friend. Hui reached Immortal King this time, and he came to Low Heaven Domain, not to join Yimo, but to repay his gratitude. Since Yimo was opening a sect here, he would come to cheer and support Yimo. Yes, Brother Yin, Su Jingwen called out in joy. Of course she wouldn't call him Hui directly. She couldn't imagine the cultivation level of this Hui. It was this insect who dared to attack you? Hui pointed at the golden immortal and asked. Su Jingwen nodded, but before she said anything, the golden immortal said shakily, "Qian Bei, Wan Bei, how dare you lie to a king? Die." Hui let out a sword chi, and the golden immortal was dead. Slaughter was forbidden in front of the Immortal Ascension Palace, but an immortal king was going to kill a golden immortal here. No one dared to say a thing. The fat immortal still wanted to bring out his sect, but hearing the word king, he didn't dare to say anything else and scurried away. Su Jingwen immediately went up to get the dual moon ice blades. Humph. So what if you're an immortal king? An immortal king can kill people at our Wan Heaven Immortal Ascension Palace? A cold voice sounded. An extremely powerful pressure came. Even Hui couldn't help retreating a few steps under this powerful pressure. A green-robed old man appeared before everyone. Hui could tell this old man was at least an immortal King Peak stage, or even halfway immortal monarch. Hui signaled Su Jingwen to stand behind him and saluted with his fist to this old man. A golden immortal dared to attack my friend's Dao partner. So what if I kill him? Hui signaled Su Jingwen to stand behind him and saluted with his fist to this old man. A golden immortal dared to attack my friend's Dao partner. So what if I kill him? He couldn't beat an immortal King Peak stage, but he wasn't scared. He had seen quite many immortal emperors already. A newly ascended cultivator, seeing that Hui wasn't scared of him, the green-robed old man acted a little more careful. Yes, Qian Bei, Wan Bei is a newly ascended cultivator. That person was going to attack me, so Brother Yin intervened. Su Jingwen quickly said, "What happened? Someone tell me." If it was some ordinary person, the green-robed old man would have used force. Hui was not only an immortal king, but wasn't scared of him at all. Who dared to speak about MOU immortal sect things? That immortal from MOU quickly went up and bowed. Qian Bei. She's a newly ascended cultivator from Luoyu continent. The golden immortal whom Qian Bei killed lusted after her beauty and wanted to take away her by force. Qian Bei knows the elder of MOU immortal sect, so he attacked in anger. This immortal from MOU truly believed Su Jingwen was from Luoyu continent now. She lied probably just to be careful. He almost made a mistake. Although some people knew that this immortal didn't speak the complete truth, no one wanted to say something extra now. Some people had recognized this green-robed old man to be Heaven Lord Alliance Vice Alliance leader Lu Yong. 10 years ago, when Yi Mo disappeared with Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, and Lu Jingchuan, he knew that Chang Tian, Immortal Monarch, was quite possibly dead. As for whether Immortal King Luo was dead, he still wasn't sure. Regardless, before he reached Immortal Monarch, he wouldn't go look for their trouble. Hearing that this involved MOU Immortal Sect, he didn't want to intervene anymore. Offending MOU for a mere golden immortal, he wouldn't do this unless he was brain damaged. Lu Yong sneered to everyone: if anyone dares to attack newly ascended cultivators, death. Then Lu Yong looked coldly at Yin Hui. One who attacks a newly ascended cultivator deserves to die indeed, but it's not the job of a foreign immortal king. If you dare to kill at the Immortal Ascension Palace, then don't blame the Heaven Lord Alliance. Lu Yong finished, and his force rose drastically. The nearby immortals retreated. In fact, Lu Yong didn't want to fight Yin Hui at all, but he was in a tough situation. He was too free and came here for a spin. He wanted to assert dominance to relieve some annoyance he had, but now he met a tough one. A few immortal city and sects in the low heaven domains had all been devoured for no reason. As the Vice Alliance leader, he clearly had to investigate this. Yin Hui could tell that Lu Yong only wanted a way down. Just when he wanted to say some nice words, a terrifying scream sounded. The next moment, 9 huge, disgusting heads appeared in the sky. Sticky mucus that was thicker than buckets dripped down from the head. 9-headed void devouring bug. There were too many knowledgeable people in the immortal realm. Almost everyone recognized it immediately. Countless immortals immediately released their magic artifact to run. The 9-headed void devouring bug was a ferocious bug fed with souls. Its mouth could devour space. Its saliva could corrode all things. When the 9 souls fused together, it would be invincible in the cultivation realm. When the 9-headed void devouring bug came to the immortal realm and devoured large amounts of immortal essence living beings, it would grow out crests. Once there was crests, it can even devour immortal kings. There are 5 colors to the crests: red, green, blue, purple, gold. The red crest is the most ordinary king bug. Ordinary immortal kings are no match for it at all. When the crest reaches green and blue, even Immortal Monarch would have to flee. Purple-crested 9-headed void devouring bugs aren't even scared of immortal emperors. Usually, golden-crested 9-headed void devouring bug never appears. This 9-headed void devouring bug's crest was pale green. Seeing this 9-headed void devouring bug, Lu Yong immediately realized those immortal city and sects were all annihilated by this 9-headed void devouring bug. If it was something else, he would be willing to fight it, but against this level of 9-headed void devouring bug, even he can't do anything. Plus, he didn't know if the 9-headed void devouring bug had a master. Seeing this, Lu Yong disappeared in a dashing light without hesitation. Lu Yong was the strongest here. Of course, the 9-headed void devouring bug wouldn't let him go. Its other head sucked casually in the immortal city and then chased out in a black figure. The instant he saw the 9-headed void devouring bug, Yin Hui knew it was over. Against such level 9-headed void devouring bug, there was no way out except death. He was ready to deal a heavy blow to the 9-headed void devouring bug before he died, but instead the 9-headed void devouring bug chased after that green-robed immortal king. Even with its casual suck, 60% of the immortals on the ground had disappeared. Those who could survive were mostly great immortals. Yin Hui knew that after the 9-headed void devouring bug killed Lu Yong, it would come back to the city and devour everyone. Yin Hui took out a rune, and the instantly enveloped Su Jinwen. He patted out a rune too. 2 dashing lights flashed, and the 2 disappeared from the city. Countless immortals took out the transmission runes and left. Lu Yong flew like crazy, but this nine-headed void devouring bug was faster than him. Seeing that he couldn't get away, Lu Yong stopped and turned around, releasing a yellow lamp. Lu Yong activated a few hundred yellow flames. When they first appeared, they were only the size of a thumb, but when they neared the nine-headed void devouring bug, they were arm-sized and growing. Then a few hundred more yellow lights were born. The nine-headed void devouring bug didn't expect Lu Yong had such power. It was swept by a few yellow lights, and a few bloody holes appeared on its head. The nine-headed void devouring bug was infuriated and roared, shotting out countless black mist-water lines. The yellow lights were immediately dimmed, and Lu Yong's immortal king domain was crippled by this. Lu Yong felt his immortal essence stop and realized he was completely controlled by the nine-headed void devouring bug. This nine-headed void devouring bug was much stronger than he expected. Lu Yong didn't dare to keep fighting. He burned immortal essence and used a mobility technique. As soon as he left, the huge, ugly head bit down. There was still some distance between the two, but when the nine-headed void devouring bug bit down, Lu Yong and the space between them disappeared. Space devour. These were the last words of Lu Yong. The nine-headed void devouring bug didn't stop at all and went back to Shihao Immortal City. Those immortals who didn't get away were all devoured. In a short time, the popular Shihao Immortal City was like a ghost city. At the Immortal Ascension Palace of another city, Yin Hui said desperately to an abstruse immortal, "Take Su Jingwen to Mo, you immortal sect, immediately, and tell the few immortal kings that nine-headed void devouring bug has appeared. I have some emergency. I need to leave." This abstruse immortal was the cultivator waiting at this Immortal Ascension Palace for Luo Yu continent cultivators. Yin Hui was desperate. He had to bring this news to the Grand Heaven Domain. Luckily, he knew there was a teleportation formation to Middle Heaven Domain, and it was an extreme wind heaven. Usually, this teleportation formation wouldn't be opened unless it was a significant event. Goddess Jingwen, this is Mo, you immortal city. The gray-robed abstruse immortal pointed at the grand city and said, "Goddess Jingwen, this is Mo, you immortal city." The gray-robed abstruse immortal pointed at the grand city and said, "So beautiful." Su Jingwen looked dazedly at the huge city standing in the clouds. She had been to two immortal cities, and they were a far cry to this. "I'll take you to City Lord Estate. Luo, you continent cultivators don't need to be tested. The least they can do is become an outer sect member." Abstruse immortal said politely, "You're a cultivator from Luo, you continent." A crisp voice interrupted this gray-robed abstruse immortal, asking Su Jingwen. The two immediately saw a blue-robed female immortal. She was extremely pretty, and her figure was unparalleled. Even Su Jingwen felt ashamed comparing herself to this female immortal. "Yes, may I ask who you are, goddess sister?" Su Jingwen bowed. The gray-robed abstruse immortal quickly saluted with his fists. "Mo, you immortal sect outer sect members, I Chao greet Qian Bei." The blue-robed female immortal smiled sweetly. "I'm Jin Bingyu, not some Qian Bei." Hearing this, Su Jingwen quickly said, "Su Jingwen, greet goddess Bingyu." Jin Bingyu nodded and asked again, "Did you come from Luo Yu continent?" She heard Yi Mo say that he came from Luo Yu continent. She had been in solitary cultivation for a decade and just reached great extreme immortal. She really couldn't resist coming to see Yi Mo, so she came here. She didn't know about Yi Mo disappearing with Lu Jingchuan. "Yes, I came to find my husband Yi Mo. My husband told me to come find him at Gong Hua Heaven," Su Jingwen said. Jin Bingyu shivered, and her face changed a little, but she soon recovered. She knew Yi Mo's wife was on Luo Yu continent, but now she finally ascended. This Su Jingwen was this pretty. She was certain that if Su Jingwen cultivated the body refinement cultivation method Yi Mo gave her, she would be on par with her. Women are the most sensitive. Even though Zhen Bingyu was countless times stronger than Su Jingwen had some thoughts after seeing the expression on Zhen Bingyu's face. Qian Bei, if you have no business, Wan Bei will take her inside the city, the gray-robed abstruse immortal said, seeing that Zhen Bingyu didn't talk, nor leave. Zhen Bingyu woke up and shook her head. I'm fine. She knew that Yi Mo had wife. She even thought that she didn't care Yi Mo had wife, but now when Su Jingwen stood before her, she realized how hard it was to face it. She didn't care about other things, but she didn't dare to stay in front of Su Jingwen for long. She found that she had plans to leave before even entering the sect, seeing the two walk off. Zhen Bingyu suddenly said, Su Jingwen is an outer sect member. She's inner immortal spirit beast. Then, Zhen Bingyu turned to leave. She suddenly wanted to go back to the Chaos Star Realm and keep cultivating. Yi Mo stood in this endless bluish-gray space. The ugly Zisu still hung on his back. He had a sense of lost. This was his 10th year in here. In this time, his power completely stabilized at Immortal King middle stage, but there was no improvements. But in terms of battle power, Yi Mo believed even an Immortal Monarch tertiary stage was no match for him. He didn't know if Susu, Yangzhu, Jingwen, Qingxue, and them were fine. He didn't know how Yimo was. He didn't know how Xiaoyun was. He was an Immortal King now, but he still couldn't go looking for them and was instead trapped here. In here, Yi Mo was a king, but this wasn't what Yi Mo wanted. Small Ginseng and Shadowless stood by Yi Mo's side. The two knew that Boss wasn't in a good mood, and talking to Boss now was asking for it. All the star beasts were extremely far. Not a single one came over. Even those ones taller than 100 m would pretend Yi Mo didn't exist if Yi Mo didn't go over. Boss, that tree is 70 centimeters tall. I heard that if it grows to 3 meters, it can serve you as master, but growth gets harder and harder. Small Ginseng said quietly. Yi Mo patted Small Ginseng's head and said, Good job. You've done very well. As for when it can grow to 3 meters, let it go naturally. Seeing Small Ginseng being praised, Shadowless immediately said, Boss, did you notice although these star beasts are scared of us? Small Ginseng interrupted Shadowless. So shameless. Those star beasts aren't scared of us. They're scared of Boss. Why do you keep bringing yourself into it? Shadowless laughed awkwardly. At least I can eat a bunch of star beasts. You haven't contributed at all. Yi Mo waved his hand, stopping the argument. You want to say that these star beasts won't allow us to go to the River Forest Valley in Northwest. Yi Mo decided the directions here himself. The River Forest Valley was a special place. Almost all the 100 m or larger star beasts were gathered there, and there was a hanging river. There were also trees with no leaves. The only place with trees in this space was there. The valley was shrouded in bluish-gray, and Spirit Sense couldn't scan in. They neared there a few times, but was stopped by 100 m tall star beasts. Although they couldn't do anything to the three, neither could the three do anything to them. Later on, Yi Mo knew that with his current power they couldn't get in, so he left. Shadowless quickly said, I meant to say that recently all those star beasts larger than 30 m are heading there, but there are very little star beasts below 30 m going in. Hearing this, Yi Mo realized it was indeed so. The star beasts around him were all below 30 m. Yi Mo immediately felt something happened at the River Forest Pond. We'll go see as well, Yi Mo said, and then he heard roars. A few star beasts larger than 30 m appeared in Yi Mo's spirit sense. Soon, Yi Mo noticed that all the star beasts who came over were missing arms and legs. Their face was full of worry. A few star beasts ran up to Yi Mo and beckoned while pointing at River Forest Pond with a desperate face. Yi Mo looked at the star beast and asked, What do you mean? Did something happen there? You want me to help? The star beast kept nodding. Yi Mo frowned. He guessed the valley probably wasn't some exit, but where the star beasts cultivated. That's why he didn't plan that he must go there. While Yi Emo was hesitating, Shadowless immediately said, "Boss, these blue furs clearly want to harm us. If it's something even they can't beat, then they probably have some evil plans calling us to help." Small Ginseng said too, "That's right, boss. These beasts might have bad intentions." But Yi Emo knew these star beasts weren't cunning. He thought for a moment, "Let's go see. If things go bad, we can run." A few injured star beasts saw that Yi Emo was willing to help, so they joyfully went ahead to lead the way. A few injured star beasts saw that Yi Emo was willing to help, so they joyfully went ahead to lead the way. With their speed, they just used 15 minutes to get outside River Forest Valley. The inside was still filled with a bluish-gray mist. Even with spirit sense, one could only obscurely see some river flowing and empty tree branches. Other than this, there were a few hundred star beast bodies at the entrance to the valley. The bones were bitten and filled with holes. There were some shiny black ants attached on the bones. Clearly the star beasts were devoured by them. Yi Emo knew these ants. Before Yi Emo spoke, Small Ginseng and Shadowless called out in shock, "Metal-devouring bugs." Yi Emo nodded. "That's right." Yi Emo had seen these once in the 7 refined tower of Yuan, Le Heaven. At the time, he only saw around tens of thousands of them. They were from level 3 to level 5. With his power, he could only hide on the side while they flew over. Although Yi Emo hadn't seen just how many metal-devouring bugs there were here, but there were definitely more than tens of thousands, and they would be more than level 5. It was impossible for level 5 metal-devouring bugs to even make a mark on the star beasts. A few metal-devouring bugs noticed them and charged up. Yi Emo hacked out with Zisu, and there was the sound of hard metal clashing. Those metal-devouring bugs were hacked away, but they only wobbled a bit and were lightly injured. "This is level 7 metal-devouring bugs. You guys go inside." Yi Emo immediately knew that these weren't things that Shadowless and Small Ginseng could take on. If there were only a few, it would be fine, but once there were too many, even Shadowless would have to await death. No wonder these star beasts would be devoured clean. If the level 7 metal-devouring bugs attacked together, even the most powerful star beast would have to die. Since it was metal-devouring bugs, Yi Emo wasn't too worried. They were fast, but he wasn't slow. If he was no match for them, he could run away. This time, the star beasts didn't stop them going in the valley. When Yi Emo went in, he immediately spread out his spirit sense. He finally realized why these star beasts would be scared and gradually killed off. A tidal wave of metal-devouring bugs covered tens of 100 m tall star beasts. Those below 100 meters were long dead. These 100 m star beasts blocked the entrance of the valley clearly, so the metal-devouring bugs can't charge out of it. These star beasts were very powerful, but they couldn't do anything against the metal-devouring bugs. They could only rub or smash. That way, even if a small portion died, most of the metal-devouring bugs would still be fine. Yi Emo looked at a 110 m star beast collapse due to metal-devouring bugs. That star beast only struggled a little and were even loped by the metal-devouring bugs. The metal-devouring bugs went in through the star beast's eyes and nose and soon devoured the star beast from the inside out. Yi Emo took in a cold breath. Even that 110 m star beast only struggled a little, and most of these metal-devouring bugs were mostly level 6, some level 5, and little level 7. There were about tens of thousands of them. There were 2 that reached level 8. If such terrifying metal-devouring bugs went into the immortal realm, it would be a disaster. Even the Grand Heaven domain would be devoured by these terrifying metal-devouring bugs, unless someone had the Heaven Flame 9 sons like him. Yi Emo didn't doubt people having god arts similar to the Heaven Flame 9 sons in the immortal realm. The immortal realm was boundless, and there were countless masters. There would be large-scale massacre god arts. Seeing Yi-Mo come in, a few taller star beasts whined and couldn't make any more sounds. Now that they called Yi-Mo, it was clear that they asked for help. Before Yi-Mo attacked, the metal-devouring bugs charged at Yi-Mo like a tidal wave. At this moment, Yi-Mo didn't dare to hold back. 5 blue golden suns rose up. Yi-Mo used Heaven Flame 9 suns at full power immediately. He had 2 immortal flames now. The first was blue like morning sky, and second was South Abyssal Void Flame. Yi-Mo used blue like morning sky straight up. Countless blue rays shot out, sweeping over 1,000 km radius. Sizzling sounds came up everywhere. Everything that was burned by this flame would turn to dust. Yi-Mo's condensed spirit sense and immortal essence made these metal-devouring bugs charging at him fall in the turn of an eye. The air that was filled with metal-devouring bugs loosened up. Those metal-devouring bugs that fell to the ground smoked in a moment and disappeared. The metal-devouring bugs was terrifying, but to them, the Heaven Flame 9 suns was more terrifying. Those metal-devouring bugs below level 7 couldn't resist at all, and the level 7 ones were shaky. Yi-Mo called out Shadowless, and Shadowless swooped all those shaky metal-devouring bugs away. As Yi-Mo charged into the valley, the metal-devouring bugs cracked like popcorn. When Yi-Mo used Heaven Flame 9 suns, he only protected Shadowless, but not those star beasts. Those surviving star beasts seemed more withered under the Heaven Flame 9 suns, but the metal-devouring bugs attached to them were completely burned. They couldn't care about the damage brought to them by Heaven Flame 9 suns. They were completely dazed. This neighbor had been with them for a decade, but it was their first time seeing he had such terrifying power. If Yi-Mo used such sun on them, it was be extinction. These star beasts looked fearfully at Yi-Mo, not daring to disrespect him at all. They didn't know that even if Yi-Mo used Heaven Flame 9 suns, he wouldn't be able to annihilate them, much less Yi-Mo didn't plan to annihilate them. Yi-Mo's slaughter finally made the 2 level 8 metal-devouring bugs scream in horror. The remaining level 7 metal-devouring bugs gathered together and charged at Yi-Mo with the 2 level 8 ones. Their wings were burned by Heaven Flame 9 suns and could only wobble in the air. It was perfect for Yi-Mo that they gathered and charged at him together. The instant they came, Yi-Mo punched out. 5-stack wave kill. A terrifying immortal flame smashed out, burning out ripples in the space. Some injured metal-devouring bugs died immediately. Some survived, but then the 2nd and 3rd wave came. Then the 4th and 5th wave came. Even the most powerful metal-devouring bug couldn't take Heaven Flame 9 suns and 5-stack wave kill. In that moment, all level 7 metal-devouring bugs were destroyed. The only 2 remaining level 8 metal-devouring bugs screamed and wanted to run. How could Yi-Mo let them get away? Although he used lots of spirit sense and immortal essence, he could still use another 1 or 2 god art. As he released Sisu, Yi-Mo waved out lightning sand. Rumbling sounded in the void. Countless lightning arcs fused together into a 30 kilometers long lightning spear. The 2 level 8 metal-devouring bugs wanted to run, but Yi-Mo was waiting for them with tens of spirit sense blades on the side. One metal-devouring bug was hit by spirit sense blades and became wobbly. The other was hacked by Sisu and wanted to run. Theoretically, level 8 metal-devouring bugs was equivalent to Immortal Monarch, but their battle power relied on numbers. Individual metal-devouring bugs were far weaker than ordinary immortal spirit beast of their level. Rumble. The lightning spear pierced the 2 metal-devouring bugs. They just made an even sharper howl and was smashed away. Before Yi-Mo said anything, Shadowless dashed over and swooped the 2 metal-devouring bugs into its mouth. Shadowless was busy devouring the metal-devouring bugs, but Yemo looked at these slanted rivers and was a little shocked. The colors were different, but the deeper in the valley, the darker the water. Shadowless was busy devouring the metal-devouring bugs, but Yemo looked at these slanted rivers and was a little shocked. The colors were different, but the deeper in the valley, the darker the water. Yemo scanned his spirit sense into the river water, but found his spirit sense had this hurting sensation. He quickly took back his spirit sense and walked to one of the rivers and felt his hand in. It was bone-piercing cold. Yemo almost felt his hands were being corroded by this liquid. Yemo quickly took out his hand, but found his hand to be fine, and his skin seemed smoother. A powerful feeling surged up. This is a body refinement place. Shadowless stared at these rivers with light in his eyes. Yemo woke up. No wonder the star beasts were that powerful. They had such a body refinement place. And there seemed to be a type of power in this river. Would he be able to learn it? Thinking about this, Yemo rejoiced. He couldn't cultivate in this place and could only kill. He was long sick of it. If he could body refinement, then it was still cultivation. He was immortal spirit body tertiary stage. If he reached immortal god body, even if it was just primary stage, his body would be on par with ordinary immortal emperor body. In that case, even if his power was a little weaker, he wouldn't fear ordinary immortal monarchs anymore. Yemo sped up to the second river and placed his hand in. A more painful scorching pain came up. Yemo knew that if he wanted to go in there for body refinement, he would have to use body refinement cultivation method. Yemo realized the deeper he went, the stronger effect these rivers had. Those tens of star beasts saw Yemo going around in the rivers but didn't dare to go up. Even those taller than 100 m felt very threatened by Yemo. The metal-devouring bugs almost annihilated them all, but this new comber easily wiped them out. It was clear who was the strongest. Yemo just went into a suitable river and said to Shadowless, "Go find a place for body refinement. If those star beasts comes up to annoy us, just eat them. If not, then don't provoke them. I don't want to eat those mosquitoes." Shadowless jumped excitedly into a river he had chosen in. Seeing the two go in, those star beasts breathed easy. There were many rivers here. If Yemo just used them for body refinement, it didn't damage anything, and so was fine. After resting easy, those star beasts gathered up and crushed the remaining metal-devouring bugs. When things calmed down, those star beasts went into the river for body refinement, but they would choose a rather further place from Yemo and Shadowless. After experiencing the ravage of the 9-headed void devouring bug, the low heaven domain gradually calmed down, not because the 9-headed void devouring bug didn't dare to devour immortal cities and sects, but more than 10 immortal emperors from the grand heaven domain came down together. They battled the 9-headed void devouring bug and the owner. Eventually, no one could do anything to each other, so they came in agreement. That was the 9-headed void devouring bug wasn't allowed to ravage the immortal realm, and its master was allowed to set up his own sect in the grand heaven domain. Of course, they could only let it go for those immortal cities devoured. Immeasurable people died in this disaster. Even MOU immortal sect lost a few disciples. Now, it had been another decade since the 9-headed void devouring bug disaster, and more than 3 decades since Mo disappeared. At Fondue Heaven, Quay Immortal City Big Square, countless immortals gathered again. This time, there were a few thousand immortal kings and some immortal monarchs. Humph, Yen Jiuqian, it's this guy again. A handsome man sneered outside the square. This gray-robed man also had a handsome face, and when he heard this, he just glanced at the blue-robed man and snorted with equal contempt, "A loser dares to be cocky." Then the gray-robed man left. "When Mo comes, I want to see how you will be cocky in front of me." A white-robed, veiled female immortal walked over Marshal Brother Ding. I suspect Yen Jiuqian hid his power. Perhaps he is an immortal king primary stage at all. He's Immortal King Tertiary Stage. These two were Dingjie and Zhantai. Because Yi Mo mentioned Yan Zhouqian, and Dingjie couldn't find a match, but he happened to find Yan Zhouqian. Thus, the two fought without saying anything. Dingjie was unparalleled in the Grand Heaven domain, but he couldn't beat Yan Zhouqian. If he didn't have a few life-saving magic artifact, he would have been killed by Yan Zhouqian. This time they came to Fandu Heaven because the Outer Realm star domain might be open. For this, almost all the Immortal Kings came. Of course, more Great Eternity Immortal wanted to go in, so they came too. Dingjie nodded, but after a while he said, after coming back from the star domain, I'm going to find Yi Mo. Yi Mo said he's going to Chaos Star Realm. I wonder if he went. Just when Zhantai wanted to answer, more than 10 figures landed on the high stage in the center of the square. Most immortals knew the leading person. It was one of the 4 Grand Emperors, Feng Kong Grand Emperor. Behind him was Wei Feng and Dragon River Grand Emperor. As soon as Feng Kong Grand Emperor came out, the immortals at the square fell silent. Feng Kong Grand Emperor nodded happily and said loudly, there has been lots of things happening recently. Only a few decades ago, we found the small heaven domain, allowing many Great Eternity Immortal who have been stuck to reach Immortal King. And now, in a short while, we found the entrance to another heaven domain. Of course, it might not be a star realm, but based on the chaos chi coming out of it, it's quite possibly the entrance to an outer realm star domain. The people below immediately became excited, especially some Immortal King Peak stages and Great Eternity Immortal Peak stages. Everyone knew that there were entrances to the Chaos Star Realm from Low, Middle, and Grand Heaven Domain, and going in from each entrance resulted in a different scene. But over countless years, people have never seen Outer Realm Sat Domain. If the Outer Realm Star Domain was 9 levels of the Chaos 36 domains, then this unexcavated star domain would have countless treasure. Feng Kong Grand Emperor waved his hand. Everyone calm down. The Black Whirlpool might not lead to Chaos Star Realm. We only guess so. There's some laws inside. It would strongly reject Immortal Emperor or Immortal Monarch who have mastered a law. Thus, it only allows people who haven't mastered a law to go in. Hearing this, Yan Zhouqian frowned. He didn't know if he could go in. His power returned to Immortal King Tertiary Stage, and his space law was getting complete, but because he wasn't at that cultivation state, his law wasn't mastered. He had to go in this. If it was the Outer Realm Star Domain, it would be dripping in wealth. He didn't lack cultivation methods, but cultivation resources. Of course, if this isn't the entrance to the star domain, then there would be danger going in. As for what danger it is, you will be responsible for it yourself. Feng Kong Grand Emperor's tone went cold. How can we cultivators be scared of danger? If we fear danger all the time, we might as well hide at home, Feng Kong Grand Emperor said, and people immediately conformed. How can we cultivators be scared of danger? If we fear danger all the time, we might as well hide at home, Feng Kong Grand Emperor said, and people immediately conformed. Then Feng Kong Grand Emperor threw out a huge crystal ball showing the entrance of the whirlpool. If Yi Mo was here, he would notice that this whirlpool was much larger than the one he entered in. It was extremely black, but spun far slower than the one he went in. When the immortals saw the black whirlpool, Feng Kong Grand Emperor said again, at the same time, I need to remind everyone that according to our calculations, this whirlpool would spin the opposite way only after 12 years. That's when everyone can come out, so before you go in, you need to think carefully. For most cultivators, 12 years was the blink of an eye. It was nothing. How to use these 12 years to find the most cultivation resources was the most important. But one thing I need to remind everyone is that if you don't come out after 12 years, this whirlpool will disappear. As for when it would next appear, no one knows. After going in the star realm, you must hand up all level 9, and above immortal spirit item, otherwise death. But those who hand them up will be rewarded heavily. Hearing this, everyone shivered. There was no way around this. But some smart people felt relaxed instead. If the Grand Emperors didn't want anything, then that would be strange. In a slanted river, Yemo was sitting inside. The river water formed ripples around him. Extremely little impurities were excreted out of his body. His body and power was still increasing. As time went on, the water rustled around him. Eventually, the water left the river and circulated around Yemo. Soon, Yemo was encompassed by the water and obscured. Rumble. A huge explosion sounded blasting away all the water around Yemo. Just when the water evaporated in the air, the river Yemo wasn't dried up. At this moment, Yemo's long hair flowed down. The muscles on his body were perfect. The star beasts saw the explosion and didn't even dare to come near. They all moved away. Yemo gave himself a few dust removal spells and took out a clean set of clothes and flew into the air howling. After all these years of hard work, he had changed countless rivers, and today he finally reached immortal god body. Even in the immortal realm, immortal god body was very rare. Although, theoretically, the immortal emperor body was on par with immortal god body, but its recovery and defensive capabilities were weaker than immortal god body. Reaching immortal god body meant that Yemo had the power to stand firm in the immortal realm. Even against an immortal emperor, he would have some chance of getting away. Plus, Yemo learned a new law in the river, and that was power law. In the ancient times, power law was the most basic and simple law in the immortal realm, but it was the hardest to reach the highest state. In all the ways of Tao vindication, vindication through power was the hardest. No one has ever succeeded. It was easy to learn power law, but hard to reach initial mastery. So, as time went on, there were very little people in the immortal realm who went to learn power law. Eventually, power law disappeared. Until today, Yemo finally learned power law in this bluish-gray space. Even if he didn't vindicate Tao with power law was extremely important. Boss, you reached immortal god body? Shadowless ran over. Yemo waved his hand. I've begun looking into power law, and I reached immortal god body. There's no point in staying here. We can go and try find a way out. However, it was a pity that he couldn't take the river away. If he did, it would lose the body refinement power law. Otherwise, Yemo would at least take half the rivers here. Shadowless was long bored of this place. Nad quickly followed behind Yemo. All the star beasts quickly moved out of the way. On the way, Yemo was thinking about where those metal-devouring bugs came from. There definitely was none here before. But then suddenly so many appeared. What is this place? A few hundred immortals appeared in this bluish-gray area. Then, a few hundred more appeared. Soon, there were more than 10,000 people here. This doesn't seem to be the outer realm entrance to Chaos Star Realm. Not necessarily. When you first enter the Chaos Star Realm, it's bluish-gray, too, like here. Yes, but this place is barren. There's nothing. And this immortal king didn't finish, but everyone knew there's almost no immortal spirit chi here. It would be strange if there were immortal spirit items here. Most people guessed that this might really not be the entrance to Chaos Star Realm, but an independent dimension. As for what dangers there were, no one wanted to try first. Look, what are those immortal spirit beasts? One great eternity immortal peak stage pointed at 2 star beasts and said in shock, "What level immortal spirit beast are they?" "Can't tell. They're covered in blue, for they seem very strong." "I'll go have a look." One great eternity immortal tertiary stage flew out of the crowd and near the 2 star beasts. The 2 other get also followed carefully. Seeing this great eternity immortal get close, the 2 star beasts immediately ran. They had the subconscious feeling that those people who came were like Yemo. Seeing this, the Great Eternity Immortal immediately released his magic artifact. These immortal spirit beasts are very scared. They're probably not strong. I'll kill one first. Then, the Great Eternity Immortal attacked with his magic artifact. His magic artifact struck the Star Beast head-on, but the Star Beast wasn't injured at all. Seeing he was attacked, the Star Beast roared and slapped with his palm. Splurge. This Great Eternity Immortal was smashed to pulp. Immortal Spirit Beast was too absurd. A Great Eternity Immortal attacked with magic artifact, but didn't do any damage, and was instead slapped to death. Immortal Spirit Beast was too absurd. A Great Eternity Immortal attacked with magic artifact, but didn't do any damage, and was instead slapped to death. The other two Great Eternity Immortals saw this and quickly ran. This Star Beast saw that although these people looked like Mo, but was far weaker, they stopped running. They charged back and slapped down too. These two Great Eternity Immortal couldn't even break free from the force binding of the Star Beast, and was instantly slapped to death. Then the two Star Beasts charged into the crowd. Finally, someone in the crowd recognized and yelled out, "This is Star Beast." Their hide is extremely thick. Ordinary magic artifact can't damage them at all. They live on the border realms. They don't cultivate immortal essence nor spirit sense, but they have extremely strong power. Rumble. The palm of a Star Beast clashed with an immortal king's magic artifact. This time, the lower than 30 Star Beast was smacked away. But even so, the Star Beast wasn't injured at all. But the two realized that there were people who could beat them here, so they retreated and disappeared. Luckily, they left. This thing is too scary. Those below Immortal King would meet certain death. One Great Eternity Immortal said with fear. The Immortal King who struck the Star Beast away said heavily, "You don't understand Star Beasts at all. They appear in packs. They would be overwhelming. There might just be two here, but there would be countless times more than us coming." And this Immortal King changed to a more serious tone. "I heard that there are Star Beasts larger than 30 If we encounter these, it would be extremely hard for us to even run, but I heard that Star Beasts are usually very violent and would never retreat. It's very strange that these two retreated." Hearing this, the Immortals fell silent. If that was the case, then they wouldn't be thinking about how many immortal spirit herb to collect in these 12 years, but how would they survive? Now, pretty much everyone had been teleported in. With discussion, most people started to think about a way out. First, there were Star Beasts everywhere. Second, this wasn't Chaos Star Realm. "We need to leave here quickly and find a safe place first," someone suggested. "Leave? In the habitat of Star Beasts, there are Star Beasts everywhere. We're very lucky that there was just two here." One Immortal King said, in contempt. As soon as he said this, he saw a few thousand Star Beasts charge over. With this, everyone tensed their minds. "Don't worry, form teams and attack with magic artifact. Attack one together. We have lots of people. All the Immortal Kings, extend out your Immortal King domains to stop these Star Beasts." One Immortal Monarch primary stage immediately yelled. The strongest person here was only Immortal Monarch primary stage, and ones who could come and didn't achieve great mastery in law. With this, people started to form teams. There were about 20,000 people here, and 5 Immortal Monarchs. There were 2,000 Immortal Kings, and the rest were Great Eternity Immortals. The 20,000 people clashed with the few thousand Star Beasts. Magic artifact ravaged. Immortal essence burst everywhere. There were Great Eternity Immortals and Immortal Kings being slapped to death nonstop, but there were also Star Beasts being killed. Although Star Beasts were powerful, most of the Star Beasts that came didn't exceed 30 meters. Their weakness was obvious. These Immortals soon found the weak spots of Star Beasts after some battle. As everyone spread out this experience, the even battlefield skewed towards the Immortals. As more and more Star Beasts died, they finally couldn't resist retreating. Soon, The rest of the star beasts were gone, leaving behind a ravaged land and a stack of bodies. This battle was short, but a few hundred immortals died. Meanwhile, only a few hundred star beasts died, and this was because star beasts over 30M didn't come. Otherwise, at least half the immortals here would die. These things are so powerful. There's so many of us, and we only barely won. It seems we can't wander off alone. We must act together. One immortal king panted. I don't think it's so simple. The leading immortal monarch frowned. A few thousand star beasts isn't a lot at the border realm. It's little. The most important thing is that there isn't star beasts beyond 30M. According to what I know, there's not only 30M tall star beasts, but also some 100M tall star beasts. If it's one of these, even I would have to run, and I might not even get away. Hearing this, the scene fell silent again. If not even an immortal monarch can get away, the rest of the people's fate was clear. Some essence spirits who have lost their bodies floated helpless in the air, not knowing where to go. Immortal monarch, master, what do we do now? One immortal king broke the silence and asked what everyone wanted to ask. Do you guys have a better idea? That immortal monarch couldn't think of a better idea. Another immortal monarch said, the only way is to build an immortal city here. We don't need to build a huge one. We just need it to block these star beasts. We can use their beast cores to concoct top-level body refinement pills. We can hunt star beasts as we find a way out. If we can't cultivate, we'll use these beast cores for body refinement. That probably won't work. Powerful star beasts are taller than 30M. No matter how sturdy the immortal city wall is, it probably won't stop them. Another immortal monarch said. The immortal monarch who suggested this said again, of course, we can't just rely on the immortal city, but star beasts have a weakness, and that is they don't cultivate essence spirit and spirit sense. They just rely on more power. If we set up large amounts of illusion formation and stealth formation or even transmission formation, we'd pretty much be fine. Almost everyone agreed to this suggestion. With hope comes motivation. These immortals immediately began building a city, with 20,000 people building a city. And the weakest being great eternity immortals, this immortal city was built with extreme speed. Of course, the city walls weren't built with the best materials, but the formations were set up with good materials. Yi-Mo was searching for a way out. Yi-Mo saw star beasts move away, but he stopped. He found that many star beasts were wounded. They seemed like magic artifact wounds. Did people come here? Or was it Kai-Mi? Thinking about this, Yi-Mo immediately came up to an injured star beast and grabbed it. All the star beasts here knew Yi-Mo and Shadowless. Seeing Yi-Mo grab him, he didn't dare to move at all. Yi-Mo checked the wounds carefully. It was indeed caused by magic artifact. It really did seem that foreigners have come. This isn't the work of Kai-Mi. They were injured by different magic artifacts. I'll go have a look. Yi-Mo left the star beasts behind. Soon, Yi-Mo saw an immortal city being built, and there were all sorts of formation outside. There really were people here. Yi-Mo didn't know where they came from, and was about to go look. Boss, it's Kai-Mi, that old bastard. Shadowless called out. At the same time, Yi-Mo found Kai-Mi too. Without hesitation, he charged at Kai-Mi. Kai-Mi also looked at Yi-Mo immediately. He had been hiding in here for a few decades and found that many people have suddenly arrived. Without hesitation, Kai-Mi started to run. He wasn't scared of Yi-Mo. He was certain Yi-Mo would chase up. He thought the same as Yi-Mo, to kill him at a place where there was no one. Yi-Mo and Kai-Mi came and went quickly. Those people building the immortal city didn't notice them at all. Yi-Mo and Kai-Mi came and went quickly. Those people building the immortal city didn't notice them at all. Yi-Mo only chased for 5 minutes and knew that Kai-Mi's cultivation level was much stronger than before. And these star beasts feared him, but Kai-Mi as well as they didn't stop Kai-Mi either. At the same time, Yi-mo felt that Kaimi wasn't really trying to escape from him, but was instead trying to draw him somewhere. Kaimi wasn't even scared of him, realizing this meaning that Kaimi already knew he wouldn't let him go. Shadowless, this old bastard is trying to lead us somewhere. When I fight with him later, you stay on the side and find an opportunity to ambush him. Yi-mo sound transmissioned to Shadowless. Shadowless immediately nodded. He loved ambushing people, but when he reached Heaven Tao, his body changed and couldn't ambush people with the size of a pea. The immortal city built here was called Star Defense Immortal City. This immortal city was built very fast, but the formations were set up slowly. However, with tens of immortal formation masters and great masters, the city defense formation was finally set up. It was made up of a few level 6 immortal formations. But in here, star beasts might not even be able to break a level 4 immortal formation unless it's those star beasts that mastered the power law and all came to attack, but that was impossible. Those star beasts who master power law would be at least 100M or higher. These star beasts rarely came out. They are pretty much all at River Forest Valley to protect the body refinement area. There were hundreds of millions of star beasts in this bluish-gray area, but there weren't many star beasts who could reach 100M and above. It not only required talent, but also fortune. The immortals in the city immediately felt they had nothing to do after the star beasts stopped attacking. It was hard to cultivate here, and they couldn't go out easily. Helplessly, most immortals could only choose to body refinement. Soon, many people found that the body refinement pills made with star beast cores were extremely effective. There was even a sliver of chaos wave inside, making people understand more about their god art and cultivation method. Realizing this, two things became precious. One was body refinement cultivation method. The other was star pills. They were pills made from star beast core. No matter where it was, as long as there was incentive, there would be those fighting for it. Many people started forming teams and left the city to hunt for star pills. Some people came back loaded. Some could never come back again, but more and more people went outside the city. Yen, Jiuqian, also went out, but he didn't go for the star beasts. Since there was chaos chi here, he only needed to find the source of it, and he would be able to find something precious. This can be the place of your burial. Kaimi suddenly stopped and stared coldly at Yi-mo. At the same time, he reached out a huge hand and grabbed at Yi-mo. As soon as his hand reached out, the fingers turned into 5 boundless mountains and smashed from above Yi-mo. 5 extremely in-sha-killing intent locked the nearby space. It was as though the sky was falling. Yi-mo was chasing Kaimi, but he was on alert. Seeing this, he smashed out the world rock without hesitation. A powerful immortal essence backlash came. Yi-mo felt his chest go heavy, and he was shocked. His power was many times stronger than when he came in here, but this Kaimi improved at a faster speed than him. He had the upper hand on the first attack. It had only been a few decades, and Kaimi surpassed him. If this guy had more time, how could he be a match? Kaimi was surprised that the world rock stopped his In-sha Heaven Claw. His In-sha Heaven Claw dominated in this dimension. Even the sturdy body of the star beasts couldn't take his In-sha Heaven Claw, much less Yi-mo's mountain magic artifact. But the magic artifact stopped it. Blood River 9 falls. Kaimi roared and waved his hand. The blood spear was released, and at the same time, 9 blood rivers fell from the sky. There was less quantity of the river, but the power was many times stronger. The dense, bloody smell with this shocking killing intent instantly loomed over this space. The invisible lethal force squeezed, the nearby void cracking. Yi-mo knew that even if he called Shadowless out, Shadowless wouldn't be able to devour this blood river. None of his god art would be able to stop this blood river. Seeing Yi-mo, who was illuminated red by the river, Kaimi snarled, "I want to see how you're going to keep acting cocky." You dare to hunt me for a few decades. Letting you die is too simple. As Kaimi spoke, the blood spear made a petrifying sound and charged at Yi Mo with even more ferocity. Yi Mo suddenly reached out his arms and howled, "Void." Then he punched out 9 consecutive punches. Yi Mo's face went pale. If he wasn't a mortal god body, just using Void 9 times would cripple his body. Against this powerful blood River 9 falls, there was no other way for Yi Mo other than Void. "You're asking to die." Kaimi sneered, seeing Yi Mo dare to punch his blood river. No one knew the blood river better than him. It would corrode everything. Plus, he fused the yin sha he found in this space inside. The endless lethal force in the void suddenly split apart. Some were swept away by the blood river. Some formed a lethal force whirlpool and smashed with the blood river. Rumble, rumble, rumble. In the clash, the nearby space and domain were shattered. Blood splashed, and immortal essence dispersed. Yi Mo's face went pale. There was a sliver of blood on his lips. He knew Kaimi was far stronger than he expected. He was heavily injured. "This is impossible." Kaimi looked at the shattered blood river in disbelief. It was impossible for an immortal king to punch his blood river, unless Yi Mo was at least immortal god body. Before Kaimi could say that Yi Mo was immortal god body, a shadow dashed towards him. Before Kaimi could say that Yi Mo was immortal god body, a shadow dashed towards him. It was that guy again. Kaimi recognized Shadowless as soon as he came out. He hated Shadowless just as much as he hated Yi Mo. It was Shadowless who forced him to this world. But Shadowless was too fast. Just when he reacted, Shadowless bit over with its big mouth. Kaimi heavily injured Yi Mo, but he paid a price for it too. In that blink of an eye, Shadowless actually ate Kaimi. Idiot. Spit him out quickly. Yi Mo said desperately. Kaimi was a divine emperor. Although his immortal essence was damaged, his essence spirit was still very powerful. Unless Shadowless was immortal Tao, it would be suicide to eat Kaimi. Shadowless felt something wrong after he ate Kaimi and spat Kaimi out immediately. It was only a blink of an eye, but Shadowless was also heavily injured. However, Kaimi also seemed withered. He was covered in Shadowless's stomach acid, and his immortal essence was chaotic. Yi Mo released Zisu before Kaimi could attack. Crevice, the endless space, and the nearby void was all gathered here, gradually squeezing into a sword ray. This sword ray fell down along Kaimi's brows. Kaimi had long seen the power of this strike. Kaimi smashed out the blood spear. Crack. The nearby space was ravaged again like a volcanic eruption. The ground turned to oblivion. Huge rinks appeared between Yi Mo and Kaimi. The earth shattered and stretched out into tens of miles. Kaimi was hacked tens of km away by this strike, and a gash appeared between his brows with blood dripping down. Yi Mo didn't retreat much, but he sighed. His immortal essence and spirit sense was extremely deprived due to using Void 9 times. He only released the look of crevice, but the actual force of it. Otherwise, Kaimi would be heavily injured from that strike. Kaimi seemed to be hacked away that long, but most of it was intentional. As soon as Kaimi stopped, the gash had recovered, and the blood spear swirled in the void again. Yi Mo's face was cold. He didn't know if Kaimi could use Blood River 9 Falls again, but if Kaimi did, he wouldn't be able to use 9 voids again. But he believed Kaimi wasn't that strong. "You indeed have some fortune. You actually reached immortal god body here." Kaimi didn't attack Yi Mo again, and instead said coldly. Seeing Yi Mo not talk, he said again, "But no matter what, don't think of escaping from me today." Then the blood spear turned into blood shadows in the void. Blood River. Yi Mo's heart sunk. He didn't expect Kaimi to really be able to use Blood River 9 Falls again. If Kaimi used it again, he wouldn't be able to escape at all. His only opportunity would be now, but Yi Mo didn't want to do that. He suspected that Kaimi was bluffing. Kaimi was at most Immortal King middle stage now, or maybe tertiary stage. How could an Immortal King tertiary stage use a god art like Blood River 9 Falls twice? Yi Mo clutched Sisu tightly and stared coldly at Kaimi. He didn't believe Kaimi could use it another time. If Kaimi really could, then he would run immediately. The three big blood rivers hung in the air, but didn't fall. Yi Mo breathed easy. Kaimi could only use 3 rivers, but Yi Mo didn't attack Kaimi. Kaimi didn't attack him either. Clearly, both of them felt someone was coming over. Yi Mo recognized it was Yan Zhouqian. I can encounter you everywhere. Yan Zhouqian sneered and released his mist line without hesitation. The region it dominated was no smaller than the Blood River. Yan Wudao, you should join up with me to kill this Kaimi. He came to rob my time formation disk. If you kill me, you would be no match for him. He's a divine emperor. Yi Mo said. Kaimi? Your Kaimi divine emperor? Yan Zhouqian wasn't clueless like Yi Mo and immediately called out in shock. Kaimi said coldly, it seems I still have some fame left. I thought after all these years, even some cats and dogs don't take me seriously. Then Kaimi looked at Yi Mo with contempt in his eyes. Yi Mo was an insect. In order to increase his power these years, he forced it, and it wasn't beneficial for him fusing with the body. However, he fought a big battle before fighting Yi Mo, making him unable to use Blood River 9 Falls twice. Otherwise, Yi Mo was dead for sure. Yi Mo's heart wasn't calm at all. Now that Yan Zhouqian confirmed Kaimi was divine emperor, it was clear that Kaimi was an essence spirit body due to fighting Truth Divine Emperor. Truth Divine Emperor was able to kill that many people while being ganged up on. Just how strong was he? He only knew Truth Divine Emperor was very strong before, but after seeing Kaimi, he realized just to what extent Truth Divine Emperor was powerful. Kaimi was about the same cultivation level as him, but wasn't scared of him at all. That Truth Divine Emperor killed a few of the Divine Emperors joined up with Kaimi. Just how scary Truth Divine Emperor was. Humph. Yan Zhouqian's mist line already attacked towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew things couldn't end well today. If it was just Kaimi, Yi Mo would be confident in killing him, but now with Yan Zhouqian, Yi Mo decided to leave first. As soon as Yan Zhouqian's Immortal King domain reached out, Yi Mo's Immortal King domain and Spirit Sense blades hacked out. There was an indistinguishable crack, and Yi Mo's figure disappeared. Yan Zhouqian's mist net clearly attacked at Yi Mo, but when it fell, it instantly fell towards Kaimi. This wasn't the first time he fought Yi Mo. He knew that even if he attacked with full power, he wouldn't be able to kill Yi Mo nor keep him. But he knew this Kaimi well. He was an ancient divine emperor, and now possessed another body, and knew Yi Mo had time formation disk. He had to kill one today. He killed the cunning Yi Mo, but he could try to ambush this Kaimi. Even just the secrets of a divine emperor was enough for him to attack. Rumble, rumble, rumble. As the 3 blood rivers fell, Yan Zhouqian's mist net clashed with it. Yan Zhouqian's mist net was instantly bound by the blood rivers. Kaimi thought the same as Yan Zhouqian. He knew Yi Mo just as well. Although he was contemptuous at Yi Mo, he knew Yi Mo's capabilities clearly, now that Yan Zhouqian knew about the time formation disk too, and he seemed to have quite a lot of good things. Killing Yan Zhouqian first was the same for Kaimi. It was because the two had the exact same idea that their magic artifacts clashed. Just with that clash, Kaimi realized that this Yan Zhouqian was not much weaker than Yi Mo. He definitely couldn't kill Yan Zhouqian in his current state. Realizing this, Kaimi didn't want to fight at all. The blood spear twisted, and the blood rivers exploded. Meanwhile, Kai Mi's figure dimmed instantly. Yan Zhouqian's mist net instantly turned into a fine mist spear and pierced that dimming figure, drawing out blood. After leaving that blood, Kai Mi disappeared like Yemo. Seeing this, Yan Zhouqian felt regretful. If Kai Mi left a second later, he would have been able to keep him. Seeing this, Yan Zhouqian felt regretful. If Kai Mi left a second later, he would have been able to keep him. Yi Mo and Kai Mi left, the few hundred star beasts surrounded over immediately. They were scared of Yi Mo and Kai Mi, but not this newly arrived Yan Zhouqian. Yan Zheyushan was very annoyed that he got nothing out of this, and now that these star beasts surrounded him, he didn't hold back. His mist lines turned into countless mist rays that accurately pierced these star beasts. These powerful star beasts were defenseless against the mist rays. They were slaughtered, and soon the remaining star beasts fled. They were different from when Yi Mo just came in. When Yi Mo first came in, no matter how many died, they would keep attacking Yi Mo. But now, they are scared. Seeing someone could instantly kill them, they grew smart and immediately retreated. Even if Yi Mo saw Yan Zhouqian here, he would compliment him. Yan Zhouqian knew the weak spots of star beasts very well. These mist rays struck the weak spots of the star beasts immediately. At the same time, Yi Mo instant transmissioned into the star beast crowds. However, the star beasts immediately recognized Yi Mo and moved away. Boss, what do we do now? Should we follow one of them? Shadowless had recovered from his injuries and asked, My cultivation level is a little stronger than Kai Mi, but I can't kill him. For certain, Kai Mi, that old bastard, grew strong this quickly. If he could use his Blood River 9 falls consecutively, even if I can get away, I would lose a layer of skin. Yi Mo shook his head. Shadowless, suddenly said Boss, although I devoured Kai Mi only for a short time. I felt that this guy's immortal essence was used before. He was even lightly injured. I'm certain it's not due to the fight with us. Perhaps he fought with someone before. Are you certain? Yi Mo's face went serious again. It's true. Shadowless nodded affirmatively. If Shadowless was right, then his cultivation level wasn't a little stronger than Kai Mi, but much weaker. This meant that if Kai Mi encountered him before the fight, Kai Mi would be able to use Blood River 9 falls twice. With that, he might even die. Boss, I feel that Kai Mi grew stronger this fast. Must be, because he found something better than those body refinement rivers. Shadowless guessed. Yi Mo knew that Kai Mi found a huge fortune in here. That old bastard is experienced. Perhaps he already knew there were good things in here. So he went for that straight away. Only we were dumb enough to fight with our lives. Shadowless ranted unhappily. Shadowless's words struck Yi Mo. Kai Mi was once a divine emperor. His experience must be bountiful. But so was Yan Zhouqian. He was a half-divine emperor. Yan Zhouqian left that immortal city, probably to come find resources here. Thinking about this, Yi Mo immediately called out Small Ginseng and told him his idea. Small Ginseng quickly patted his chest and said, Boss, don't worry, we'll follow him. If I sense any immortal spirit item chi, we can find it ourselves. Okay, let's do this. Yi Mo immediately said. With Small Ginseng's help, Yi Mo soon found Yan Zhouqian's tracks. Yi Mo didn't need to use his spirit sense to lock onto Yan Zhouqian to follow him. Small Ginseng would remind him. But even so, after 3 days, Yan Zhouqian noticed something wasn't right. He even stopped and used his spirit sense to search around. However, in this bluish-gray space, his spirit sense really couldn't search much. On the 4th day, Small Ginseng immediately told Yi Mo, Boss, I felt an extremely dense chaos chi even without that yen. We can find it. Okay, Yi Mo instantly sped up and charged at Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew that under such circumstances, it was impossible to ambush Yan Zhoutian. As soon as Yi Mo appeared, Yan Zhoutian saw it and waved out his mist line. Tens of thousands of mist arrows shot and crushed the void, squeezing all the nearby space. Yi Mo didn't release Sisu at all, but instead punched out 9 times. 9 voids, 9 space lethal force whirlpool instantly formed. When Yi Mo completely released these 9 punches, the 9 void drags released a huge rumbling sound. Crack! Yan Zhoutian's mist arrows were swept into the whirlpools and made explosions. After tearing some mist arrows, the 9 whirlpools gradually gathered together, creating an even louder rumbling sound. A terrifying huge whirlpool formed between Yi Mo and Yan Zhoutian. Seeing this, Yan Zhoutian's face changed immediately. He immediately took away his mist line and disappeared. Yi Mo didn't chase Yan Zhoutian. He knew that he might not be able to catch up to Yan Zhoutian. Yi Mo's face was pale, but he was very excited. Ever since knowing that Kai Mi could use Blood River 9 Falls, Yi Mo had constantly been thinking about how to counter that move. Compared to Yan Zhoutian, Yi Mo wanted to kill Kai Mi more. So during these few days, he had been thinking about how to fuse his 9 voids together into a new fist god art. Using this battle with Yan Zhoutian, he finally created the form of his new god art. Yan Zhoutian was very cunning. He knew that Yi Mo was testing a new god art on him. If he kept fighting Yi Mo, it would be helping Yi Mo, and he might get injured. How could Yan Zhoutian do such a dumb thing? So after noticing this, he left immediately. Yi Mo was still in the enlightenment of the new fist god art and couldn't care about Yan Zhoutian leaving. After the 9 voids fused together, it completely annihilated this region of space. Rumbling sounds went on non-stop. The nearby space rattled. Yi Mo knew that this punch really devoured space and used space law into it. There was a fundamental difference between this and Void. Void couldn't stop Blood River 9 Falls, but this punch could stop it. If he could use it more than once, he could even ambush Kai Mi and tear him to pieces after blocking 1 Blood River 9 Falls. Thud. Yi Mo put away the fist force, and the whirlpool in the void exploded and soon dissipating. Boss, such a powerful punch. Shadowless immediately came to suck up. Yi Mo's face was a bit pale and shook his head. This punch is indeed much stronger than the 9 voids I used fighting Kai Mi, but I can only barely use this punch once. If I can't use 2, I would be no match for Kai Mi. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.